think you did it.
We did it. We're live. Good evening, beautiful people, and welcome to the Hell Mode Invitational, brought to you from the depths of Van Diemen's Land down under. This is the very first round of the Hell Mode Invitational, and we've got 6 of the very top players from the Australian TI4 server. I'm flying around the map right now. You can see how rich it is in planets. We'll talk about that a little bit later. First of all, I'm going to introduce the players. In the speaker position for round 1, as the clan of Saar, it's Martimus Rex playing out of Brisbane. Say hi, Marty.
AKA the least prepared Saar ever.
Let's go. All right, in the second position, we have the Warlord himself, the top ranked player on the server. Moon, say hi.
Hello.
Moon is playing out of Western Australia, as is his neighbour. In the third position, we've got Bay as the Mahact Gene Sorcerers.
Hello.
Yo, I should have mentioned Moon is playing the Naalu Collective. Alright, and in the fourth position, we have one of the henchmen and veteran 3s on the servers. Let's introduce Murderous Troll. Say hi, Troll.
Hey, how are you all? Looking forward to it.
No one is getting this instruction right.
That's right.
From Victoria.
That's right. Troll is playing out of Victoria. No, maybe got that one wrong. Alright. And in the fifth position, as the dreaded Nekro virus, it is St. Cheesius, another veteran 3. Say hi, Cheesy.
Hi, Cheesy.
Hey! Cheesy's another Victorian player. And then in the sixth position, as the Xxcha Kingdom, we have our one and only Kiwi. It is Jared of Arabica. Say hi, Jared.
So, let's go. Sorry, Cheer. I'm from New Zealand.
Sure. That's right. It's the honorary, 7th state of Australia?
Third territory.
That's it, the 3rd territory of Australia. All right. And with that, I'll hand over quickly to Fourburner, the tournament organizer, to give us a little welcome to the Hell Mode Invitational, and then we'll get going.
A little welcome. Welcome to the Hell Mode Invitational. Is that small? Was that punny enough? Haha. No, I just want to quickly remind everyone to respect your timing windows. Don't, blast through everything, because as discussed, you will be punished for it. Lay it, play it, right? So we all know what that means. If you're flipping something, mean it. Do it with integrity. Do it from the bottom of your heart. And, play to win. Every point matters. We all understand how the tournament works. We all know what happens at the end of the league round. We go to the eliminations. It gets all spicy. So, play hard, get those points. And I can't wait to see how this all, basically stuffs you over from the very first objective. It's going to be funny. One of you statistically will be screwed from the outset. And that's hilarious to me. So let's make it happen.
That's right. The players already have their secret objectives and they're ready to go. Let's reveal the first 2 public objectives, and I'll hand it over to the players to run their own game. Meanwhile, you and me, Fourburner, we're going to talk some Hell Mode in a minute. What do we got?
Absolutely. You got me coming through on push to talk now?
I sure do. I can hear you loud and clear. All right, we got push boundaries, more planets than 2 of your neighbors, and make history. 2 systems next to Mechatol. Oh, no, sorry. 2 systems that contain legendary planets, Mechatol Rex, or anomalies. So they are 2 control objectives off the rip, which is what I love to see.
We'll have to make some.
So now we start to see the genius of my super rich milty, because to start blocking people, which you're going to want to do,
it's half of the map.
You got to go into them to do that. You can't just let the map block people out of objectives. You got to actually do some work, which I want to see.
That's right. If every slice has 5 or 6 planets, it's no one really has an advantage on these.
Yeah, exactly. It's making it balanced by turning everything up to 11.
Yeah. We'll get into map design in a second, but you mentioned to the players that they understand the scoring of the Hell Mode Invitation, but those who have just joined the stream may not. Do you want to give us a quick rundown?
Those who have just joined the stream, including us, yeah. So essentially, there's 24 players, the best we could wrangle, and a few fill-ins from the server. There's 3 league rounds. After the 3 league rounds, everyone will have their league position, scoring purely based off what they can pick up in the 3 games during the league rounds. So maximum score 45. Being, your 14 times 3 plus 3, extra point for the win.
Everyone
After that, we'll move through to the knockouts, but we can, we can get to that later. The important point right now is getting points on the board as fast as possible to not
I'm
get
taking warfare.
sucked into the bottom of the table.
I will take
Yeah.
warfare. And it will
I think it's going to be a very hyped tournament, and I'm excited to play my own game starting in a week's time, I think, or maybe a week and a half.
Whenever
looks
they
like
get organized, it's fine.
It looks like, given the objectives, we see Speaker taking Warfare as Saar. No real surprise there.
Shocked. Absolutely
think-
shocked.
I think Saar likes to take trade if they're in Speaker, but with these objectives, Warfare totally makes sense. We didn't script these objectives, did we, 4B?
Well, I didn't. I joined late, so
That's
you and
right.
someone else. And if they did,
I didn't
thank-
even host the game, so
Yeah, there we go.
There
Who
you
is
go.
it? It was Troll, I believe.
Take construction.
I think Moon started the game.
Right,
we had
okay.
some shenanigans going on trying to work out how to host this game, but
Construction.
it is on the way. Which means that Naalu, he's getting trade round 1. We'll see if he's able to buy all the timings that he needs.
I like.
We've got Tech in the 3rd pick for the Mahact Gene Sorcerers. Might be on their way to some Cruiser 2s, I'd imagine.
Okay. Oh, I've got a weird little.
Sardakk.
That's right, Sardakk have taken
Troll
construction.
building early, leaving leadership on the board.
He's got the
Getting
early
politics on the
hopes
board.
in. Got the early hopes in, so that's a pretty good
Mm.
space stock. Yeah, leaving politics on the board, so we don't necessarily know who's going to be going for that custodians just yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Maybe Mahact goes for it round 1.
Blind
Naalu
but, like, not going
has a
for
shot.
enough
I mean, I guess with Naalu in the game, but Naalu's not in a slice where they want to go like straight forward. They've got to.
Right, they
Maybe-
got to do some work. Right, they got to move around a little bit. They got to wiggle.
Speaker.
That's it. Or maybe
Although,
Saar. Maybe
14
Saar are
points,
going there with Warfare.
You would
It'd be,
you never.
Like diplomacy, do I have to?
Be a bold play to take custodians round 1 in the Helmet Invitational, I think.
Yeah. 14 pointer. There's a lot of time, but he is Saar, right? He's technically invulnerable if he gets it right. So
That's right. And Nekro have taken leadership in the 5th position, and in 6th, the Xxcha Kingdom get politics. They won't. They won't
I bet that
be.
stings.
They won't be last pick for long.
All right. Who's going to hit the bombs away button? Wonderful.
Hmm.
Good luck,
Your
everyone.
first round predictions for Bernard. Who's going to score a point in this round?
that will require looking at the map and doing an intense bit of study. Right.
Hate that faction.
Let's see, do it one by one. So control more planets than your neighbors. So
Mm-hmm.
planet rich, everyone's got a couple of planets. Your favorite is obviously Warfare, Saar. They're going to move around, they're going to take some stuff.
I mean, I
Mahact, whoever they make a deal with, maybe construction, maybe Sardakk.
So I'd be keen to.
Mm-hmm.
Sardakk gets their token lifted, they get some more planets, potentially.
I will.
Yep.
This one's fast.
Naalu have a pretty good shot with their new agent from Codex
Yeah,
3.
absolutely. They can move, they can take a
But
lot of
they-
stuff.
They are right next to Saar, so it'll be interesting to see which of them comes up on top in
Mm.
terms of which neighbors they can get to actually score it
I
against.
don't know about anyone else.
Another important part that is often forgotten about, including by myself. That you need neighbors to be able to score that one.
That's right.
That's up to
Nekro and Xxcha are both famously slow starting factions.
Neither of them with Warfare as well, so they're locked into their default rollout slow.
Yeah, unless they get that coveted Mahact lift. And Nekro are on leadership, so they ain't getting it.
For use of
No, basically ruled out for Nekro and politics. I
Mm.
don't think it happens in politics. I think Mahact sitting next to construction is probably eyeing that up as soon as it got taken from the board.
Makes sense.
I
So we
can-
have a round 1 trade pop from Naalu. They're making
Cool.
some deals now. It looks like X-2 has been given to the only 4 commodity faction in the pool.
Oh, brutal start. You'd love to see it. It's exactly what we're here for.
Get him.
Now, I think there's a misconception about Australian Hell Mode that people break non-bindings a lot and they wouldn't do things like debt meta, but as you can see here, Naalu are collecting debt tokens.
Yeah, that's really true.
What's your experience with non-bindings in the Aussie meta, 4B?
We won't worry about it.
I have honestly never seen it
No, I
broken
can't leave you out.
in Helmerd level games because the heat you get from it is just too real.
Of course.
So, and I mean, it's timing, right? It's all based on timing and game context, depending. If it's
Okay.
late in the game and you're offering non-binding deals, you're just asking to get your heart broken. But like early on, round 1 trade, round 3 trade, round 4 trade,
It's pretty cool.
you can generally expect it back because
Sparky.
there's
First
still
things
more
first,
value to be had
there's
in
stuff.
retaining trust versus whatever short-term gain you get from 1 or 2 trade moves.
Just going to give it a quick shuffle. I know that
That's
what
it.
is definitely better, but
I think because it's such a tight knit community,
About how much I
the
love
Hell Mode
Yeah,
group,
your reputation sticks around, right?
that's it. That's it. If you start breaking those non-bindings,
Probably not.
people are not going to do them with you in the future.
No. Very
But-
different from your Gen Pop experiences, obviously.
That's true. That's true. I've played a few LFG games where non-bindings have been broken in the same breath they were uttered.
Yep, and that's just you just got to wear it. You just got to cop it on the chin because you're like, yep, that's on me. Because who the hell is this person I was just speaking to? You
That's
can
it.
sometimes never know.
That's it. You did also mention, of course, we are playing these games to 14 points, not to 10. These
Yes.
games are a grueling slog in my experience, but it's usually worth it.
I pass you to.
How would you generally describe the difference between 10 pointers and 14 pointers?
10-pointer,
Alright, so
it's
I just want to check on time.
very precise. It's like a tightrope walk almost because you can't veer too much from the very obvious path. 14-point, you have more time. There's more wiggle room to recover from not scoring round one. There's more time to find weirder points path than your standard, 5 and 3 and 1 and guac, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So with more space to develop, I like to look at this game as a branching network of decisions, right? The deeper you get into it, the more decisions have been made. So the more rounds you go, the more decisions get made, the more chaotic that endgame state can be, which means the more variety and more chaos you see. And that's the beauty of this game, I feel. So to me, the 14-point is like the ultimate experience of this.
Yeah, I've loved my experience with 14 pointers. It's a very different mindset, and I think the metaphor I hear bandied about a lot is the classic 14 pointers are a marathon, not a sprint, right? Whereas
correct.
10 pointers, there's somewhat of a formula. There are variations, but in a 10 pointer, you're looking for your 5 tier 1 objectives, your 3 secrets, your 1 support swap, and your 1 bonus point, which might be an Imperial point, it might be Custodians, it might be a relic.
I think you can use the word guac, right? We're not trademark locked out of that term.
There's no trademark on guac points. I just
we don't want to alienate our
That's
non-SCPT.
it. Well, that's it. I think most people here watching on Big Al's channel, and big ups to Big Al for hosting the Hell Mode Invitational here.
Gave you the keys to the front door and let you rummage around his fridge, all this little stuff.
All right. Actually, I was live on the SCPT channel earlier today playing a Global League game. I won't spoil it for anyone, but it was a 12-hour marathon with like 5 of the top players in the TIGL, including myself, who is currently ranked number 1. Cough, cough. And Hunter from SCPT came along to play. It was a hell of a game, but it was a 12-hour slog as a 10-pointer, 12 hours. Yep.
Wow.
And I started the game at 2 a.m. So
that's commitment.
So
I get what I
going back in
deserve
time
for
and
picking
telling 10-year-old Muffin, one time you're going to stay up. You're going to get up at 2 a.m. to play a board game online with some strangers.
I think 10-year-old Muffin would have been down to do it right there and then.
Okay, and then I'm going to build.
So we've seen a little bit of action. Nekro took Primor round 1, no surprise there. Getting a few extra infantry to fix their start once they can get another carrier going. Xxcha, they found the DMZ themselves, not what Xxcha want to see, because the DMZ can be so easy for them to steal with.
Yeah, you as Xxcha, you definitely want, and I'd say this as a person who's literally never played Xxcha, but have opposed them quite frequently. You definitely want the DMZ in someone else's slice, because it's an automatic grab for you at some point in the game. Give you something to do.
That's it. With that special piece of chords ability, they can take any empty planet that they're next to, and so you can often slither your way into someone else's slice.
Later in the game, the more often people have forgotten about it, right? Because the piece of chords, round 1, round 2, round 3, you're like, yep, Xxcha, they're going to take their slice, they're going to take the Echo Distance. If it's undefended, that's all going to happen. Maybe the Nexus, if the wormholes work out, and then bam, round 5, round 6, your DMZ, it's gone. It's gone. How do they do it?
I love when I'm playing Xxcha and someone finds the DMZ on Malice, and I can just sneak it out from under them.
Yep, it's a beautiful get.
Sardakk, as we suspected, are going to get the Mahact token left as they have moved all of their units into this lock system. This would be a hell of a non-binding to break. But I don't.
Let me just quickly whisper Bay for no real reason whatsoever.
I know Bay pretty well, and I don't think that's in his wheelhouse.
Not his opening gambit. As Mahact,
that's
it's a
it.
shame. The role-playing opportunity is right there.
That's it. And it looks like he found a cheap mech on Graal as well. So the Sardakk nasty Valkyrie exoskeletons already getting online. He's going to get a few free ones of those from Hopeson as well, I imagine.
Yep. Scary.
And
2 of them, and a planet's basically untakeable.
Sky.
that's it.
Yeah,
Ooh, and the Clan of Saar have moved right up next to Mechatol very early with Warfare. Maybe we will see the round 1 Mechatol grab. Now, in 10 pointers, I'd probably encourage that kind of behavior.
Yeah. That's a point no one else can get. You know, everyone talks about it. We know what it is. It's that extra point that you need, and you can follow the formula, and your life is sweet. So if you can take care of that in round 1,
nailed it.
you're pretty happy. You're pretty happy with life. A 14-pointer. Is it too much heat on Saar, who already famously start with heat?
Yeah, I think so, to be honest. Not the least of which, because it costs 6 influence, and in round 1, that's probably like, mostly 6 trade goods for Saar.
Yeah.
And those trade goods could have been spent on a Dread and a Cruiser, a couple, like 12 fighters.
More stuff for his round 2 sort of branch out type of thing.
And that's it. I mean, look, Saar don't necessarily have to babysit their slice as much as other people, because they can wander into whichever slice they want.
Doesn't really matter, right? Yeah.
Not needing their home system to score. But nonetheless, if they spend all their resources taking Mechatol and not building plastic, and say Xxcha on the right here sets up for Cruiser 2s and has like a bunch of dreads, or even on the left, Naalu just has a bunch of carriers with their hybrid crystal fighters, they're just going to stroll in and eat both the equidistance, and Saar aren't going to have much of a slice left.
That rolling start will be slowed significantly depending on what the others do around them. So we'll see. We'll see what money does.
That said, he gets his second floating dock online in that same system, so when he unlocks that with Warfare, he's going to have a lot of choice of where to go.
Still 2 tokens back home. He might be spending for leadership, maybe not. What's his cash situation? Get them to turn on the stats. Let me go yell at them for 1 second.
Alright, I can finally fucking talk.
Welcome to the game, Nick.
Thank you. Bit sad construction got popped, but it's probably my fault for using tree first action. That's life.
Yeah, I see that Naalu got cut out of construction because they used Zayu to come into their forward system, meaning they didn't want to lock down either of these systems, the home system or where they'd moved their carrier, by putting a space dock there.
Sad for Mooney. Mooney the other day was talking about how important that dock is for Naalu round 1. Although again, maybe from a 10-point perspective, but to be able to just pump out those crystal fighters, which sounds kind of ridiculous. It's one of the best things about their faction, about a faction that has so many good things going for them, but still.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think Naalu had fallen off the map. They were maybe considered in the running for one of the top factions in the base game of TI4.
Yeah.
And then when POK came out, they just didn't get the right tools to help with their slow start, whereas so many other factions did. And now with the Codex 3, they've been given one of the best starting tools. That's right. Yeah. So the fact that they get that sort of unlocked activation that they can use on a forward dock to build more units, they can use it round 1 to take more planets. It's a hell of a drug, I'll tell you what. I've played 4 or 5 Naalu games since Codex 3 came out.
And your entire game is then built around it, right? You're looking at how that agent is going to impact your turn every turn.
That's absolutely it. It's really interesting, though, I'll say, as someone who wins their fair share of games, I have not been able to secure a victory as Naalu, and I think they have retained the heat that they used to get back in base game now that they have that strong start. Because...
Oh, I'm needed. Hang on 1 second.
We really... Well, look, I guess...
What's happening, boys?
It's literally like a second of delay, but yeah, okay.
What's going on?
I think we... Oh, sorry, you saying something for Banner?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I heard you were like, can Burner say something in the chat, and I did not hear what was going on.
Fucking Tech got played, but then Marty wanted tech not to be played like a second after the tech card actually got played.
Nope, it's played. It's lay it played, guys.
All right,
All
shit.
good, but just for clarity, in my headphones it was before I said it before tech was
No,
played.
it was after, mate.
No, I mean in terms of when I hit.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah, I
sorry, the
understand.
intent is get these negotiations done beforehand because this is not up for argument. As soon as it's played, it's played, it's late, play it. There's no room for negotiation.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you
That's
press the button? Could you press the button again? I just want to.
All right, brutal.
Menu.
Brutal start from Muddy.
We have seen the first of our
Tech for a third time.
more hell mody moments, I think, here. That's right, we are lay it, play it. There is the if a card is activated,
Wait a second.
that's it. Now, we have very slightly loosened the rules on lay it, play it. Do you want to explain
Yeah,
exactly how the rule works and why that decision was made?
Exactly one caveat. So lay it, play it. You flip your strat card, you push the button, that's played. You put an action card on the table without saying, I just want to show you this. That's played. Lay it, play it. You chuck a token on the board, that's played. One exception: if someone drops a token on you, you're the defending player. You have one simple chance to say, "Hey, well, hold up. Can I talk you out of this?" And that is the only window in which lay it, play it does not apply. So that token can then be lifted as part of any negotiation, as part of that. The reason for that is
Next section.
the active player who's holding onto that token is looking at the board and they're thinking, where am I going to go? What can I do? They might have some extorts in mind, but they might not have all the information, and we don't want to shut down opportunities for negotiation. Despite what you just saw with the tech card there, that's a different story.
Yeah, I mean,
with an activation, that's a whole different kettle of fish, right? They might be moving in ships. It's a whole thing.
Well,
So-
my understanding is if someone starts moving their ships, if one of those ships hits the board, that's where the cutoff is, right?
That's it, exactly. So the active player can say, no, there's no window, and it's closed, or as soon as they start moving their ships, it's closed. So it's very simple to basically say it's essentially lay it, play it, with one small window where a defending player can be like, hey, well, hold up, you might not know I have this to offer you, so how about this to not do that? And that's the entire intent of it. And then other than that, it's hard. It's set in stone. Don't
That's it.
flip cards. You have no intent to play.
Excuse me.
Look, it's a much more strict and intense way to play. It took me a while of getting used to when I started playing with this crowd. And it's also like a bit of like a mindset switch because I like to play like both modes. I play quite a lot of 10-pointers, including the Gen Pop games we were talking about earlier. I know you and I have jumped into games at a moment's
Should we specify
notice.
Gen Pop? We mean the general population, as in
That's right.
TI4, the Twilight 4 Discord general. I forget if it has an actual official name.
It is Twilight Imperium 4 Discord online general LFG chat or something like
There we
that.
go, something like that. Okay.
LFG Social. LFG
Yeah.
Social, I think is the channel name.
The cradle of online TI4.
It's true. And if you're ever looking for a quick game, viewers, you can pretty much always pick up a game there.
Yep.
Games like this, you probably won't find too often in LFG Social.
No, this is I'm going to say a few levels above the standard. There's probably cumulative of at least 1,000 games.
We're seeing a
across all
negotiation
these
for
players.
Speaker here.
Yep, I'll shut up. Let's hear him.
It's all right. It looks like Nekro paid 2 trade goods for Speaker, and Xxcha will still retain first pick.
With the non-binding first choice of strat card.
That's it. That's it. It is a non-binding choice. Now it's interesting to me because I think we have look, everyone in this game is part of the Australian Discord's veteran system, but some are more ingrained than others, and the veteran system is a way of like sort of keeping track of your progress amongst the other players on the server. You need to win a game against 6 other players within the server to get promoted to veteran. And then if you want to get above that rank to become veteran 2 or veteran 3, you need to win a game against all other veterans to get to veteran 2 and all other veteran 2s to get to veteran 3.
Basically a pyramid scheme of power.
Yeah. We're not selling you anything, but it is a pyramid scheme.
Yet.
That's right. We do have the one and only Warlord Moon here.
Fourth Dan.
That's right.
Dan. Yeah.
That's right. He's won the only game amongst only veteran 3s. I'm hoping to get myself to that by the end of the year and speedrun it. But we'll see how we go. There's only 8 veteran 3s or something, and organizing a game between them is not that easy.
They're busy people. Like the endorsement deals roll in, all of a sudden they're flying off to Mallorca to do perfume things. It's the life of a vet 3 is prestigious. One
That's
not
right. My only sponsor is Big Al, and look,
and that's an AA thing, so you know.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Amazing. So, what I was going to say is that our lower Dan players, if you like, on this table are Bay and Jared. They're both only veteran 1s. Look, I've played with them both a lot. I think Bay is a very knowledgeable player. He I don't know that his personality is well suited to Hell mode, but he likes to get beaten up, and that's like that's
half the battle.
that's half the battle. And look, I only say this because Bay and I are very close friends, and he has said as much himself. But he's going into this with the intent to try and, keep up with the big boys. Jared, on the other hand, is like fairly fresh on the scene, comparative to other players in this tournament. I think he's been around in our server for maybe 4 or 5 months, and
I was going to say half a year, but I'm terrible at these things. So
yeah, it's probably as much as that. I say that as someone who's only been playing since December, but I have played about 75 games in the last 8 months. So
that's a good chunk. You fit a lot of education into those 75 games.
That's right. The privilege of working from home is not working from home, right?
To be honest, right?
But yeah, my experience with Jared is that he's got the right mindset for these games. I'm not sure
Yep.
that he has exactly the experience to know when to pick his moments yet, and I'm looking forward to see his development over this tournament.
Let's see what he blocks when he decides to block it, or even if he does decide to block anything at all.
Yeah, I think the last game I played with Jared, we ended up in a bit of a forever war because he got that little bit too greedy trying to score round 1 in empties rather than just taking his slice. And so he had 2 planets round 1 as Nomad, and I as Naalu on his left just ate his equidistant. I had like 7 planets, and when he tried to take the equidistant back, I just slammed into him with a War Sun in round 3, and it was
Well, that's because you had 1.5 slices from the start, it sounds like.
It's a bit like that.
Yeah.
It was a juicy one too. It was a Cohen Jolier in the equidistant. So
everyone loving that.
there was that 6 influence that I
For
just
everyone
didn't
not
want to
hyper
give up.
nerd, yeah.
Of course,
Hyper nerd like us to identify systems by name, a Cohen Jolier.
a Cohen
2
Jolier.
planets,
Yep,
each with
right.
2 resources and 3 influence.
That's right. They notably absent from this map, I believe.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I put them in a slice, but I'm not going to bring up my other documents.
I don't think so because I'm playing Xxcha in this game, and I
And that's what
was
they
looking
search
for
for,
them.
right? Yep.
However, there is Bereg Lurder, and Xxcha do have it in this slice. That's a 3-1-2-3 right here, with 2 hazardouses.
A trap slice for the Xxcha, though, if you have a look at it, that's difficult. It's difficult for them. They can't really get anywhere, but also with that wormhole, right? Smack out front of their home. I hope that offers some way in if they get too powerful.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think this slice is maybe the best slice on the map because I quite like having access to a wormhole, especially one with a planet on it. You can set up your dock there. You can make sure it's well defended, which means you're the one that gets to attack out of there. You just got to make sure that it is well defended.
Yes.
And that said, one thing Xxcha are very good at is defending.
Is defense. So we'll see if the table picks up on the fact that you need to maybe do something early if they want to crack that open at some point.
Now, to be honest, Xxcha, the one problem Xxcha are going to have, though, is it doesn't look like they're scoring round 1, and Xxcha really want to score 3 objectives as soon as possible.
Got the anomaly there, but no anti-mass. They're not going to get to Everard. They can't get into the Nova without some action card action.
Yeah, there's no shot they're scoring round 1. We could see the Imperial pick round 2 with no intention of going to Mechatol.
Yeah, just to double up,
Just to double up and catch up on tempo. That said, this is a 14-pointer. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And maybe unlocking their hero a round later keeps the heat off them. Because I think...
They get enough, right? They just need to hang on to that hero unlocks, then they can do anything they want.
I find... oh my... this is viewing upside. I'm trying to show the stream the Xxcha hero, but it is upside down. The new Xxcha hero from Codex 3 is the first hero that is a passive ability rather than a purge active, a one-time active, and it makes all of their planets when they exhaust, they get to use their combined influence and resources. And you can see some very strange game states where Xxcha have 45 votes in agenda. They get to spend 30 resources in building plastic around.
Yep. They'll get Warsun Tech. They'll be like, all right, well, let's build 2 of them. And then
Mhm.
they'll get bored because there was nothing left to do.
That's right. Well, I think they are like the prime Warsun faction, even in 10 points now, because you go AI development algorithm, which lets you skip. They start with a yellow. You're already 1, 2, 3 of the tech that you need round 2. You get 1 tech skip or just another red.
I come here.
Maybe you pick tech yourself, and you can get those Warsuns round 3. And I've done it. I enjoyed myself doing it too.
He's a man of his word.
And then you start scoring.
You want to sacrifice your ships? You should go here.
Oh my.
It's too late because we've already placed.
Ooh, there is some heat here.
Oh, what's going to happen? I'm going to shut
So
up.
it looks like Mahact researched Gravity Drive round 1, and they have tried to attack into Naalu's Equidistant. And Moon's threat was, I don't know why you want to throw away your ships here.
Oh, we love that. We love
He
hearing
said, you should just go to the Rigel system, because I'm taking this system. Now,
Yes.
Everything. Yep.
Moon
And this
is
fake.
one
This is
player
fake.
I wouldn't want to call the bluff on.
No, Mooney will do a thing because he said he would do a thing. That's
Mhm.
that's extortion 101. You got to be able to back that up.
Yeah, I've been in that situation myself. There was I think maybe my first Hell mode game, with like some of the really top Hell mode players,
The same.
and Mooney was in that game,
We're at the
and
star point.
I made the mistake of
You are-
attacking into his Equidistant when he was Mahact in round 1.
Alright.
Because he'd already locked down the system. I was like, oh, I can nab this system because he didn't
Yeah.
put much in it. But he was Mahact, and
Yeah.
he managed to unlock his commander on 2 other people in round 1, then lift the token,
Got a banner
and come in and kick me out of it and get a 3rd token round 1 as Mahact. It was...
Hashtag just Mooney things. That's what he does.
Oh boy.
Dude's a maniac.
Mooney loves to play Mahact. I don't know if he knows this about himself, but I think maybe 75% of the games I've played with Moon, and I've played maybe 7 or 8 games with him, he's played Mahact, and he can't resist the allure of the
Oh,
Gene
just
Sorcerers.
unlocking a fleet. They're so good. They're one of my top 3 for fun. Just for fun.
Well, I hate to bring up traumatic memories for B, but I did just win my Veteran 3 promotion as Mahact.
Well, that would
Against
be traumatic
you
for me if I
personally.
had any chance of actually, winning that game. It's fine.
Well, I think you were first in line to win until I kicked you out of someone else's home system
I mean,
after encouraging you to go there. I felt a little guilty about that one.
no, it's fine. It's not like I listen to people at the table anyway. I do my own thing, and hopefully the path presents itself at some point. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. And this chance, it didn't, and that's fine. And now we'll see what happens in the next Vet 2 game that gets organised in about 6 months' time.
In about 6 months' time. Yeah, we've got an async game going at the moment with only Vet 2s and 3s, and cool guy, the what do you call him? The leader of the server?
Proprietor? Overlord?
Overlord?
Emperor? I think
Overlord?
he's what he
That's
styles
right.
himself as, yeah.
He's the Galactic Emperor. He's trying to find that Vet 3 promotion in amongst a bunch of Vet 3 players. Alongside, who's the other Vet 2 in that game?
That's 1.
Oh, Zadix, who is one of the names I was sad to see isn't on the list for the Hell Mode Invitational. I believe he was too busy to make the
Did
schedule
reach
work.
out, but unfortunately he's just moved. There's all sorts of stuff going on with Zadix, but a solid player. Absolutely a solid player.
Yeah.
Async, yeah, that'll be tough to get over him.
Yeah, it's my mistake.
Yeah.
so-
Well, Zadix plays more async than anyone that I know, and so I wouldn't count him
I
out.
think I have to get to
Right.
but
Yeah.
I think
Oh, we have another spectator joining the game. I think we can allow that because it is another Hell Mode Invitational player.
I think it's Jordan. Jordan's fine.
In the conversation for one of the scariest players on the server, it's Jordan.
Yeah, there we go. His ears must have been
for
good.
this round. You take your card back.
He doesn't have time for the vet system, as far as I'm aware. He's stuck at vet 2, but I think he's probably in the conversation for maybe the best player on the server, if not the world.
Easily top 10, not even a question. Top 5, you're not having much of an argument. From there, I could not be bothered having those arguments.
Yeah, I think there's no point having an argument like that doesn't involve playing TI.
Until the final. Until the final. Yeah.
That's
We'll
it. That's
see-
it.
We'll see there.
Put him in the room together.
Yeah.
Good.
That's the intent of this whole thing is. So hopefully we'll see I'm not going to put predictions out there in the first stream of the tournament, but
That's it.
I've got a pretty solid idea of who I think most of the names will be come that final game.
Oh, I'd love to know if my name's on that list. I think I might be one of the most overrated players in this invitational.
Having probably played most of the games with you on this server compared to anyone else.
Compared to anyone else, I think I've played more games with you than anyone.
Yeah.
Full stop.
No, you're a big pussycat. You're terrible at this game. Pure luck. Don't know why.
Look, I put the work in to get good at this game, but I wouldn't say hell mode is actually my strong suit. I am still learning on the hell mode. I think
hell mode rewards. I don't know. There's a certain absolute ruthlessness and tyranny and calculated all sorts, which is it comes back to that tightrope of a 10-pointer, right? It feels like they play a 10-pointer but 14.
That's it.
Where they're seeing people gaining resources and they're like, no, we need to cut that off immediately because they can see where it's going to go in 2 or 3 rounds' time and they know it's too late to stop then. So the aggression comes earlier, all that sort of stuff.
There's a concept that's talked about a lot in 14-pointers and especially hell mode games called board balance. And I think this sometimes gets talked about in like more competitive 10-point games, but more it's about like tempo balance. It's about keeping people who are very close to getting to 10 points in check. There's also like this concept of board balance, I think, in hell mode specifically, which is conceptually where are people placed to start scoring
that's
2-pointers,
strength, right?
Yeah, because there is in 14 points, like we talked about earlier, there isn't like this de facto way to get to 14.
Yeah.
Sometimes it involves the normal 10 of 5 tier 1s
and then you
support.
chuck an extra 2 pointers on top of that and you call it a day.
That would sound like the de facto way, but it really isn't.
No.
In my experience, I think more often you find someone's got like 4 tier 1s, 2 tier 2s, a couple of Imperial points, or maybe a relic or 2.
You've got an opportunity for a seed of the Empire to come out, give everyone or a couple of people a point, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was wrong.
Seed of an Empire is my favorite way to win the game, Forbidden.
You underestimate there.
Alright.
Oh my god!
Oh, he's going straight in on Mooney.
Oh!
There is no fear in Bay's heart.
After all the shade we threw at him at the start of this, saying he's not a player to make moves, he's out of his depth here.
I think,
which was all coming from you, by the way. I'm just pointing that out. That was none of that out of my mouth.
No,
and here he
absolutely.
is, beaten up on the Warlord.
He's beaten up on the Warlord. He's unlocking.
Actually, I can give you the chance to take it back.
You
I could
honestly
feed
True.
infantry when I go in here later.
Gonna let this play out.
How can he take it? How can he take it back?
I, as the defender, can allow him to lift it. I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, ships have moved. Ships have moved. They're too late.
Okay.
Did you tell them that in mid?
They got there. They got there.
Okay.
I was just about to start stabbing and causing
good
chaos.
Yeah, once the ship has moved in, it's too late.
I'm gonna lose. You watch.
Jared thinks these rules are whack in chat, allowing people to go back on their late.
It's a good thing I warned them about 5 times before we started.
You sure did. So Mahact have achieved their first edict token.
Here we go.
They get a free fleet and they get to predictive some tokens back into text. Oh, and now the threat's coming back.
I can't.
Now it begins. Now it begins.
That I had to do eventually take a token from you. I didn't have to do it, but I wanted to do it.
I mean, this is kind of annoying, but it's okay. This is annoying.
Jared in chat saying
Asking about this,
Moon loses the fight here. I don't think that makes sense. There's a cruiser here that can join the carrier and the fighter. I think it probably takes care of this.
So it was sort of agreed between Troll and I regarding this planet. So
hold on. So you made an agreement with Troll that he gets this.
Wow.
You get this.
Wow. Okay.
Is that what's happened?
So you wanted to get your 5 outside. I didn't know you were going to head to Archon Vale.
Of course he's gonna get that way. It says slice.
Yeah. It looks like Troll has maybe hoodwinked Bay here.
Troll making deals for both equidistants?
Well,
Alright.
I mean, it
Maybe not
sounds
even
like
making
that's
deals,
what.
but taking one and then making a deal for the second, which is
It
spicy.
definitely sounds like that's what he did, but he doesn't have infinite tactic tokens, so he's already activated all the systems he can take.
I am interested in this
I
equity.
have.
Yeah, so
He
if you've
is
gone-
capable of pulling out a move, Troll, but I've also played
Where
a
has it
fair
gone?
chunk with Troll in that his best games are when he trips himself over,
Mhm.
and then during the fall of the
Are you
trip,
gonna
he
actually give me
sprints
the
over the
cards?
finish
What's going
line
on there?
for a victory. So we'll see. This will work out in his favor if he has stuffed up.
Just go in.
Honestly, I've actually only played with Troll once, and it was the game you and I played with
That
him
was the Melbourne
in.
tournament, yeah.
That's right, in the Melbourne tournament in real life
Alright, cool.
earlier this year, and he
Yep.
did do exactly that. He had a very
So I
slow
can-
Go on the
start as
flagship. Tell him
Nekro.
about the flagship.
Purple. Body.
Oh, and then yes, that's right. I forgot about that. In right at the end, after he managed to win Slamia's Titans because he had been fed so much tech, he
All of the tech.
he fed
Every bit of
literally
tech.
everything, including NES and Saturn Engine 2s, and it was disgusting. He had like 30 dreadnoughts on the board. Effectively.
Somehow he had 30 dreadnoughts.
Well, I mean, he had Saturn engines with NES. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's true. That's worth 30 dreadnoughts.
It's for 30 dreadnoughts. And then that's right. To try and win the game, he sent out his flagship, the Alistar, with no infantry to try and win a fight. Please try and remind
Something
me
like
exactly how this
The
happened.
flagship and 2 fighters
Yeah.
versus.
Necro.
Because he got an assault cannon off. I remember that
Did
happening.
well, you took what you
So
took.
I think it was the flagship and a carrier,
Win this fight, I can only say
2
one.
fighters, and maybe
Wow.
something else insignificant. Maybe 1 infantry.
Whoa.
And either way, he got AFB to hell.
Yes, I will.
He lost to combat. He was overwhelmingly favourite to win, and still somehow won the game. No, he
We have
didn't
something
actually.
very
Well,
interesting here. Xxcha have flown a cruiser into a Necro dreadnought,
Life.
feeding them tech. I don't know that we heard what the
Yeah.
What the
deal
deal was, what was
was
the tech?
there, or whether
Or Graviton?
Jared. I think
I've done laser systems. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Getting the
yeah,
yellow
neural
tech
mood has been picked up by.
No, definitely.
Oh, you know what? I think it might be. I think there might be a deal
Cheesy.
where Xxcha is going to get
Oh,
the
I did see
Necrovirus
that.
Alliance
That's alright.
to feed this tech in. There's no proof of this on the table right now, and the Alliance is still in Necro's area. But that's my guess. Unless Jared was making a desperate play to try and score round 1. He could have got 2 systems that contain legendary planets or anomalies if he could have planted a cruiser above Primor and a cruiser above Evera. I think that might actually be more likely to be what it is. We see the greed from Saar. Now this is what I was expecting, because when Bay came in and was having this little tiff with Moon as Naalu, he said, "I need to block your path to Mechatol," and I was like, "Oh, I think this is a miscalculation, because Saar have 6 trade goods sitting on their sheet, and they are right next to Mechatol Rex."
Here we go.
Fair enough.
How much of Saar's slice gets eaten here? It's hard.
Yeah.
Xxcha don't have the movement this round.
Nope, that Nebula, not going to help
I
matters.
wish it worked against you, but it doesn't.
But Mooney knows all about the board balance we were talking about, and
Yes.
maybe Naalu give up on the fact that Mahact have gone into their equidistant, because he has gone into Lodor, the Saar equidistant, and with Saar spread this thin.
Maybe they continue that.
Wait, oh, did you hear that? He's moving in. He's not taking Mechatol.
not? What?
He's going to build so that he's there to take it round
wow.
2.
What a move! That's a 14-point move, right
That
there.
is a 14-point move.
This guy's just fucking sitting on Mechatol. What the fuck is happening?
Wait,
Oh,
he
I
didn't
love that.
build?
That's great.
No, he did. He's sending 6, and that's right. He's building a dreadnought and
no, he is.
4 fighters.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not taking
You
it.
have to get both, but I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
Oh, I love it. I love this move by Marty. He went from, in my mind, oh god, he's throwing the game, to maybe this is the best way to secure Mechatol for him.
This is I don't think I've ever seen Saar get to Mechatol and just build, not take it by reflex.
That planet.
I'm very impressed. I have to say, I've played with Marty a few times. We joined the server around the same time. We played together as green players before we were both veterans. He's now a vet too.
So sick.
And here
I
he
think
goes.
the one
Here he
struggle
comes.
with this play though is that he didn't get to take both of Aranam and Mir.
Just like find
It's a lot of influence, and also not taking Mechatol Rex means he doesn't get to spend the influence next round.
It does. But no one else gets Mechatol, so you'll see. This is one that impossible to tell, but it's
This is
going to
the
ripple
thing.
throughout the whole game, right?
If he'd taken Mechatol, he could have built 2 fighters. Would anyone, if he'd brought in the second carrier or some of these other fighters,
Yeah.
maybe he just would have been strong enough to sit there anyway.
Right. Yeah. Potentially.
Oh, it's real it's real close. It's real close.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting moves from Marty though. This is what it's all about.
I'll just build at home.
Also, you got to tell Jordan to stop whispering you.
Oh, is it popping up on?
It's popping up in Twitch chat.
In Twitch chat. How?
Oh well, hang on. Your Discord notifications were
If only
flashing up on Twitch.
on top of Mechatol, then
That's
I guess
interesting.
Gift, but
I don't know why.
look like the cake.
Because I'm only. I thought I was streaming directly from TTS, not my
I think It's
screen.
gonna be building at home. Don't have it anymore.
Let me have a
Is there
look.
anything I need to do? Don't need to play either of these cards. It's a Necro agent being used.
And giving himself the final pat down.
Yes.
Sad.
For money.
Yeah, that's good. I was maybe hoping that you drew like good cards and you want to use it on me, but that's life.
When I do draw good cards, they're definitely coming your way. Don't you worry about it.
Thank you.
Some banter between the Vet 3s and Warlord there.
What's
That they're
up?
gonna
What's up,
start
what?
using their nasty cards on each other.
Okay. That's good to know.
So
They've been thrown
question
early.
that
You love it.
Mhm.
Someone in this level of play should know the answer to. If you use Gomsekis, can you literally move troops without using a ship?
That is
Wow,
exactly
troll. Wow.
how that commander works. However, you have not unlocked it yet.
No, I have not. I'm just double checking.
Yeah, you do not need a ship.
Yes, you could jump a mech onto my space dock without fighting in the air.
Oh no, it's not. I'm not that. Yeah, I'm just more worried about the Saar ball that's looming.
I'm a chill Sarball. I'm not one that gets stuck in the throat of.
I mean, let's be real. The Sarball
The
isn't really going anywhere. Next turn, he's going to activate Mechatol and take it, I'd assume. So,
I don't know why you didn't take it then.
This is
well,
really-
because he valued 6 resources more than 6 influence, I guess, which
yeah,
might be
what the
correct.
fuck? You got a dread.
The players now catching up on the discussion we were having at the same time.
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
I should finish.
They haven't realised what he's done. Everyone too busy with their own slice, obviously, figuring out how they went in round 1.
That's it.
Why didn't I fucking move the cruiser instead of
Well, Nekro have had a untraditional, fairly good round 1.
passing? Sorry.
They've gotten a free tech because it looks like
Having a
Jared is trying
tech
to
delivered to
score.
them. Yep.
Yep. And I think I'm right. I think Xxcha was just trying to score.
Yeah.
He was willing to sack a cruiser into a dreadnought on the small chance that it might get there.
Yep. Yep.
No,
Maybe drew a direct hit off Politics if he followed.
I didn't hear if there was like a deal where maybe Nekro tried to retreat or not.
I still risked it here, but I died.
Ah,
so
now here we're
if I'd
hearing it.
survived here, then I would have sent my over the last token to do that.
Yeah, there we go. If he'd survived here, he would have been able to score. What else is notable on this board? Naalu have taken a great swath of planets, even though they
To
I
get
need one of these.
were not able to, or they chose not to fight off
One cruiser.
Mahact in the equidistant.
Yes, Mooney gracefully allowing Mahact to keep the equidistant this round at least.
Cruisers at home.
What's up, Jezza? Shout out to Jezza, our one viewer in chat, along with
why did
Hey.
try?
a bot trying to sell some followers.
Dread vs Cruisers, like, not. Anyway,
I will try not to move it so much. So just I'm moving it around like I do as a player. Why don't I put it on
I thought he missed in the first.
top down? That way
Fuck,
I missed.
it'll stay a bit more stable.
I nailed
it all
it.
makes sense.
This
I don't
big
score.
dog is the sniper.
Saar scores, I assume.
Oh, we scoring? Raptor scoring.
Does anyone else push boundaries?
I just miss out.
No, I just miss out.
I
Jezza,
think if Baze
another Hell Mode Invitational
didn't happen,
player,
I would score,
and
so.
another one of those players maybe in the conversation for best player on the server.
It does.
Once again, another pussycat.
Oh yeah, look,
Having played plenty against him, actually probably
My planets at the very
the
least.
player who had my first game in the academy, I would dare say.
yep, he was definitely the man who taught me to play.
The welcoming committee, aka welcoming punch in the face.
Push boundaries?
It's kind of like that. here
Open the
on
door, you get
Aussie
punched in the
server.
face, and then you're like, okay, that's what it's all about. And from
But
there,
that's
you fight.
it, right? Jezza in those academy games does go a little softer. Like he will, at least he'll tell you how he could destroy your game,
Yeah, yeah,
and then encourage you to do better.
yeah. If you fall for it twice, that's when you go in.
Jezza says you were his biggest failure
Yeah.
as a student, and
Yeah, I'll wear that. That's fine. That's
he
okay.
moved on to me instead. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Instantly scored by this fleet above me.
still just.
No, he's angry at me because I sometimes use my words.
Who knows?
That's
Anyway.
Oh no.
Africa-
Fists are all you got. I still try to buy timings, and I'm told that this is poor form for a hell mode.
Not the way to do it. Yeah.
Now, did I just miss the window?
I guess so, because I
Yeah.
asked for it and then no one played any secrets. So.
All right, well then that's hilarious. Warlord just could have scored push boundaries against Bay and Purple, but missed the fucking window.
Dude, this warlord is a fucking retard. The warlord was assuming that Saar was going to take, what's it called, Mectal.
That's funny as fuck.
And then he
7
didn't.
planets.
Yeah.
But the
Again.
warlord pretended he did.
Yeah.
So the warlock just tried,
you had
made the
victory for me,
conscious
didn't
choice
do it.
not to score. Alright. This yellow...
How do we feel about this as late play it? Have they missed the window to score?
That's some
Because the
wild
next
stuff
objective has
going
been
on,
revealed,
so
I think.
say.
this is pretty cool.
I did this.
Mm,
He doesn't
yeah,
have
I mean, new information is revealed, right?
The information's revealed.
That's the provision. Yeah.
Alright, and the third objective is another control objective.
Oh yes,
Have
this is it. The system's
Another
coming through.
That's it. Have
And New Zealand
one or more ships in 2 systems adjacent to Mechatol. Intimidate the
I
council.
definitely don't claim to be in that category.
Saar's already there with a bunch of
Oh,
stuff. This is going to be
neither
good.
do I, but hey,
No.
we're the first stream. We gotta sell it somehow, don't we?
Alright.
Mooney, one of the
You go first.
best players on the server, we called him,
Okay,
and he
Um,
forgot to score round 1. I don't know how to accommodate those two
yeah,
things.
tell talking about each roll.
Well, our one scorer round 1 then is
Saar.
Saar, because
Saar!
they did get their 2 units into anomalies and legendary planets on Mechatol Rex.
They were lying on my behalf.
And about to take the custodians.
Any eggs?
More
Without
than
even
likely.
taking custodians, he got Cormand and he got his units above Mechatol Rex. Oh, it's a very smooth start for Saar the way he's chosen to play it.
It's quite nice.
We
It's
still-
quite nice.
Still don't know whether I agree with the play not to take Mechatol, but
It's going to be Saar.
Fucking hate.
yes, I think messages in chat will be auto-moderated for swear words. We try to encourage the players not to swear so much, but we are all Australians, and I think I've already heard a few F and S bombs.
It's going to happen. This warning coming approximately 52 minutes too late, but there will be language on this stream.
These objectives are fucking cool.
There will be language. I
Example.
don't know what language it will be.
I'm gonna have a bunch of fucking shit.
And so Sardakk, even with the Mahact lift, didn't manage to score more planets than neighbors because Nekro managed to get all of their infantry out there.
Try it. Go and say something bad about it.
All right, so we're into round 2 strat picks. Speaker as Nekro takes trade. Xxcha takes construction, even though I assume they had first pick.
I fucking explored this planet, Jordan, and I got...
Oh, it's because he missed out on the dock round 1, and he needs to get
Didn't
a
get it.
dock online.
was made.
Yep. Can't rely on someone else to take construction when you need it.
Tokens.
It's interesting that he chose Neural Motivator as his starting tech. It means he's not going to try and rush to War Suns, that's for sure. Is he trying to get an early hyper? Is he just setting up for instinct training later?
That's right. I'm actually just putting...
Well, I mean, traditional Xxcha wants to get their faction takes right. They want greens, they want yellows.
Yeah, for
He's
sure. I
in
just
not a bad place if the 2 and 2 comes out.
Kingslayer
objective-wise.
leader, not me.
Yeah, that's true.
It's working on me.
His slice only has a yellow skip.
We may be giving him too much credit. He may have no idea what he's doing.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hero just gives everyone a secret.
Here we go. Mooney deliberating. Not Mooney, sorry.
Geza is pining after Jordan in the Twitch chat. I'll send Jordan a message.
Oh, in what world can I double score this?
Yeah, that's probably fair.
So we see kind of start take leadership. That means they're definitely taking that Mechatol Rex that they're sitting above.
Token.
Yeah, they don't want to wait for a fleet to come in and start chipping away on the stuff they've got there.
To not give
And this is the thing, right? He got leadership.
Free
If he'd
planets.
taken that Custodians, he would have got 2 extra tokens.
Mm.
Having 3 planets
Oof.
sounds cool. That's why I hear.
I don't think
Oh,
anyone
he's got
was
the
in a
plastic down
position.
there.
I know,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
anyone was in a position to whack him there.
Place
You
trade.
know, Naalu might get to eat a planet.
Mm.
Like, they might be able to take Cormand off him, but,
Mm.
like, Laser Sakulag's pretty well defended. The home system's too far away unless
I thought
Naalu get gravity drive. I suppose they can. They are on tech. They are on
Australia
tech.
like daylight savings time now? Is that
Yes.
a thing?
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
So it is actually in 50 minutes. I believe in you guys. I think we can play first.
The
Uh,
players
debating
trying to
if they can fit
decide
the
if
next
they can
round in.
get through a round 2.
50 minutes, right?
Let's encourage them.
Let's just fucking give it a go.
I believe in you all. Let's go. One more round. Let's go.
Oh, that's a tech pop.
Yeah,
Tech-
tech popped on the 0.
Tech popping on the 0.
Why? It's because no one will fuck with me if I get Neuroglaive. So maybe.
Oh, he's getting Neuroglaive round 2.
Wow, that's Naalu officially prickly.
He's got a green skip.
I get Sling. That's the question.
He's got a blue skip too.
Gravity drive.
Wow. He's used a blue and a green skip to get gravity drive.
That's nice.
And then he
That's
biostims
nice.
his 1/4 Vega Minor. So he'll still get some
Maybe
tokens.
it'd be better if I got Gravity Drive and Sling.
Yeah, he's debating the
Debating.
Neuroglaive choice, but I don't hate it.
Nah, fuck it. I'm
Just
committed.
make it difficult to fuck with him.
Sorry.
The Neuroglaive does say when they activate a system with one or more of your ships, they
Yeah,
lose a
including
token from
fighters.
fleet.
Yeah.
So currently, Vega Major, Vega Minor are open because they
Mm.
don't have a ship; they just have infantry. But it's kind of hard to take a planet with 2 infantry in round
Now we're
2.
popping off this round. Let's go, gang, gang.
Oh, leadership popped.
Cheesy
Actually,
catching up.
Check the secondaries.
before he takes
Who got
Mechatol, he
trade?
pops
Who am I-
leadership.
Oh, no one I pissed off. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the one thing to consider though is Mahact is like a soft counter to Neuroglaive.
I make.
And they're the ones that are pushing into them because Mahact give the token back that they have of Naalu's in their
Fleet.
fleet, and then just get to take it back again.
Byron, yeah.
So is he not
Interesting
taking
interaction.
Rex at all this round? Still, he spent all of his influence again. Is he just gonna sit above custodians for the
No
entire
custodians,
game,
all game.
or does he have some plan to gather up a bunch of trade goods? Maybe.
Yeah,
Interesting.
interesting.
Sorry, say that again, mate.
Your son's unionizing against bedtime or something?
I
No daughters.
was wondering who was yelling in the background.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just ignore them.
They're impossible.
Yeah, you're playing Twilight Imperium, ignore them.
And I'm not talking about
Well,
the
that's
people playing
fine.
Twilight Imperium. Oh, Mahact's back on the warpath.
What the fuck is happening?
Holy hell!
He's going for
Spicy
another
token hit from
token.
Mahact. Yeah,
Getting the Sardakk commander.
hey,
Oh,
just
right, this is Mahact.
just not taking prisoners.
I love
Slice.
playing Mahact this way. I love getting those tokens early, get them unlocked.
This is much more efficient than 3 rounds of negotiations and giving away a point because they want to score 3
Yeah.
on the edge in your slice, all that kind of stuff.
I don't
That's
know
it. And he's got Fighter 2, he's got Gravity Drive. He doesn't. He didn't go the Cruiser 2 route, but he didn't need to because
Doesn't need
he's-
to.
He's
He's got that grab drive, right?
He's
All
got
of a sudden,
grab
everything
drive.
gets everywhere.
Yeah, and he's got such an early fighter too. With barely any fighters on the board, I think we can predict he's going to build a lot of fighters from
He's
now
probably
on.
going to build a chunk of fighters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
Well,
of
he's got a
your-
lovely dock set up on Semlor. That's a 5 production dock. He's got a 5 production dock at home. Every round he can put down like 1 ship with 4 fighters. I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
He's set up quite nice. Quite nice. Let's see how he stuffs it up.
So does
By
Troll.
pissing off both his neighbors by the end of round 2.
Well, this is Mooney has just correctly identified that Sardakk don't need that carrier to attack Bay's dock,
Planets.
but he doesn't yet have 5 planets,
Oh. Yep.
so he can't do it fast enough.
Hmm.
I just want the token.
Base.
This is why
and
I
the talking begins.
From
I think he should have moved the Dreadnought in because he's about to activate that
Played move
system.
ships of
Well, no.
Murderous.
Oh, well, yeah, you move ships. All right, you guys have to
Yeah.
stop fucking moving the ships.
I mean, he wasn't here.
He doesn't have to stop doing anything.
Seems
That's
rough.
I'm so interested.
Oh,
That's
what's
just
going on
tough.
here?
Jared was about to throw all of his ships off the board.
Yeah, sorry. Tokens while I can.
fine. I mean, I would have.
Well done, Jack.
All right, cool. Announce retreat.
Oh, here we go.
I have an interesting question for you here, Corby.
Hmm.
How do you think factions in general change from like 10 point to 14 point, especially the factions we have on this board?
A token.
Sardakk, more time to build up critical
Say
mass
you had
of,
to declare retreat.
stuff everywhere.
Mhm.
Mahact, obviously, late game powerhouses.
Lose $3.
Their hero, just ridiculous.
Yep.
Being able to move the fleet everywhere. Being able to build up enough cash to buy all your tokens so you can do anything with your own fleet. Just crazy set of tools that get more and more powerful as the game goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Necro, obviously, the more tech they have, the more options they have to do whatever they need to do, more powerful.
That's it.
Kind of, I don't know, maybe hit a certain ceiling at some point because they're
I'm going to go ahead and pop.
reliant on their flagship to really lock certain things down.
Yeah, yeah. The Elder Story is a very, very powerful unit. I mean, there is something to be said in these 14 pointers for making sure your home system's secure, and even if the Alistar
Yes.
just sits at home while your
Right.
other fleet does other things.
That can be enough. It can be absolutely enough. Yeah, if you've got the right tools to make your fleet do the things, they can be very, very viable. But yeah, so, obviously very strong.
No construction's being
Who else is in here? Xxcha. My God, again, late game with their hero, they can just afford absolutely everything. So if they can, if they've afforded time in a 14 pointer to build up,
Hmm.
you're gonna have to take absolutely everything.
I'm
away
interested
from
to
them.
see how that plays out because I think maybe they reach like a resource cap a little
definitely.
bit,
Yeah, there'll be
right?
a point where they can't build anything. But
If
that's
they've
still
got
a
all the
scary
units,
person to go into, right? Because
that's true. If they've got all their plastic out and they're buying all their tokens every round, like they're gonna be powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe
Even
one or two of
Mahact-
the other
even
factions will
Mahact
keep
is
up to
going to
them.
be struggling a little bit because they've got a limited amount of repeat activations. Shall we say?
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm,
Yeah,
so-
I do agree. Mahact are very, very powerful in the late game. A lot of that's thanks to their mechs, which sort of count as like mini ceasefires.
Yeah.
And
Just huge.
and also their ability, like you said, to unlock fleets so they can move across the whole galaxy if they can.
If they have a fleet that survives. Yeah.
If they have a fleet and if they can budget enough tokens, basically.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what the Mahact late game is all about.
That's my card. I don't know why that came out.
So this is the problem though with Mahact's choice to sort of spread themselves a bit thin getting tokens. It looks like Sardakk is moving into the Rigels.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna land those nasty bug boy infantries and mechs on them.
And now it's very difficult for Mahact to get the Rigels at any point.
We see two tech skip attachments coming out.
Imperial's Arm Vault.
Wow.
And he's gonna Imperial Arms Vault. Where's he gonna drop this next mech? Oh, he put it over on Archon Vale, which means it could be headed into Nekro.
yep.
Or it's just there to lock down Archon Vale.
I mean, there's nothing else there, right? So probably not a bad shout to get something there.
But this system's going to be a real spicy one to watch if an attachment objective comes up. It's now got 2 attachments.
Yep. A lot of planets there for the planet objective as well.
That's it. I don't see anyone getting Sardakk off these planets for a long time.
If Sardakk really wants, they can hold that. They can definitely hold that.
I think if there's a chance to get them off any of those planets, it might be now.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. That's it.
Get off Kusen and Rare, and he can maybe take 1 or 2 of them with his infantry.
I'm heading there to Sardar anyway, so.
Right.
Let's go
Naalu going the equidistant.
Because
he's heading to Saar. I think that's a mistake. I think you should bring the Dreadnought and the Carrier into the Rigels and not let Sardakk just smashes them.
you would just move out.
But I think
if I wait.
Oh wait, Sardakk have Warfare as well. They might get eaten for real. Like he might be getting to the border of elimination this round.
Oh dear.
Moon's gonna smash into his equidistant.
Well, yeah.
Oh boy.
I could just go in here because
Oh boy.
fucking buy tech line.
Or infantry at home.
Annoyed both me and him.
Yeah.
But-
Oh yeah. I don't think he's
but
getting hard
What
eliminated.
else is
He can.
gonna-
He can lock down probably these 2 systems, but I don't know that he's gonna keep much else.
Yeah, let's see.
He got his tokens, but I think it might have been
Give me.
at too
what-
much of a
what sort are you
price.
thinking? You have to leave at least one dude. I think I can not go here.
Jared shouting out in chat that he's down to eliminate
If-
Bay from across the galaxy.
I don't have to leave a dude.
Well, you do, don't you? Because
No,
you've got.
Fighter 2.
I'll work that out.
Oh. Oh, okay. You're right. Okay.
They're negotiating over how to not come to a game-ending blow here on QSEN and Raren for Bay. So while they're negotiating that, I'm going to do a quick
Is this
tech roundup.
Yep,
Let's
yep,
have a
yep.
look at everybody's tech. So, as speaker, the Nekro player have their.
I'll do something else.
Why is it not uploaded?
Oh,
This is the hard part.
Hmm.
Anyway, I think
I'm only seeing people starting tech. Oh, I might have to do this. I might have to do.
Over.
yeah, take this guy.
Are you okay over there, Fulburner? You sound like you're dying.
I'm absolutely dying. Give me 1 second.
Live on stream, we are catching the end of the Fulburner era. All right, there we go. I have a tech update. So, Nekro, as speaker in the white position, have Daxiv animators. They're starting tech. They have not yet got any faction techs assimilated from people, but they did get a free neural motivator from Xxcha trying to score round 1, throwing a cruiser into a dreadnought. Xxcha themselves have graviton laser system. They're starting tech. They also have neural motivator and AI development algorithm. So it does look like they are going to try and go down to War Suns fairly soon. But they wanted to get early action cards, I guess. Maybe Jared thinks he needs some variance on his side, a bit of luck to
I don't know.
pick
I'm
up
just
some...
picturing Jared as the Joker, and he's got no plan, and he's just fine.
He just wants to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Saar picked up chaos mapping as their only tech. They didn't tech round 1, but they have tech now. Oh no, the other way around. They teched round 1. No, they didn't tech round 1, but spent Cormand and Sakulag to get chaos mapping this round. Their faction tech. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Unlock ships are good, but he doesn't exactly have a whole bunch of resources to build them right now.
Yeah, it might be too early. I don't know.
I don't know. I would have liked maybe to just get gravity drive or even just like something that will help his
Sarween.
economy get. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say Sarween tools, get his economy moving more.
Yeah.
Because he needs.
It's a cool one.
He's put himself in a strong board position,
I mean,
but he's gonna start petering out because he doesn't have many planets. Okay, he is taking Evera, and that's another strong 3-resource planet. I don't know if he's holding
Gonna
it though.
Drop the overlay if we're looking
Oh
at the
yes,
map.
sorry, you're quite right. I'm still on the tech screen. Let's go back here. Yep, he's taking Evera, but he hasn't put much in there. I'd be surprised if Xxcha don't give a shot at that. But they have to. They also want to get to Beriglerda, and they only have one carrier that can reach both.
We'll see how spicy Jared wants to be.
Maybe he picked up Neural Motivator to try and pick up a very early flank speed.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be a hell of a dig.
That's a roll. That's a roll of the dice.
To be fair, I was playing Yasar earlier today, and there was a Hakan in the game, and I bartered around the table to find who managed to get the early flank speed because I could only reach 2 planets from my home.
Oof, yeah.
And I needed it round 1 or 2.
Yep,
And I managed to buy the flank speed off somebody. I bought it off
done.
Nekro for the promise of feeding them a tech later, which I did.
Not bad.
Mm.
Do you have anything else you want to
What tech do they take?
give you $1 so you can build the mech?
It was pretty early. It might have been neural motivated, to be honest.
We've come full circle.
You just pay back normally, so.
Now, if you saw my little Discord notification there on stream,
I will give you a
I
trade.
was going to talk about this myself. If Bay doesn't reinforce Semlor, which he didn't,
Getting those trade goods.
instead
Probably a slightly
moving out of the equidistant as Moon requested to take Sardakk, this puts Troll in the position to Gomamama a mech into Semlor, and that is an almost guaranteed victory.
Mm.
Those Valkyrie,
Well, take
what are they called? Valkyrie exoskeleton mechs.
I know.
Are
Producing a hit on sustain, I believe.
they produce a hit
I'm just
on sustain. That's right. Not the same as Valkyrie particle weave, which is when the opponent gets a hit. And he also has
seems
his
sensible.
agent.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it.
So he can take it with the mech, then dump 2 infantry onto it,
Mhm.
and I don't think Mahact can take it back. And
Same
he
problem
loses
with
the
the Wriggles.
dock.
It's early game, and that's
So
a
it'll
lot.
be really interesting to see whether Troll goes for that move, or whether maybe he threatens it to get some
Yeah.
extortion out of
We'll
Mahact.
see if we get an extort.
Fast and loose.
Because I think the one problem with going for this move is, I was
Uh,
going to say it maybe spreads him a bit thin, but Nekro of their big fleet is locked down.
Mm.
Where's Necro's not going to be able to take Archon Vale with 1
Honestly,
infantry?
Maybe I pissed you off because I've just given
Maybe that's the
fucking
time.
Bay the ability
Yeah,
to
I mean, Saar can start walking into the slice, maybe?
That's on me. I
But
thought
this is a hell of a start from Troll. Murderous Troll likes famously to call himself the worst Vet 3 and that all of his games are luck, but this is a hell of a start, I gotta say.
Yeah.
This is an incredible board position to be in. He's got something like, 12 ground units on the board already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
do you have a
9, 10,
token,
11, 12. I picked it.
Jared?
There you go.
12 units. He's got his agent. That's another 2. He's
Yep.
got double dock at home, so he's going to actually finally get some ships as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Troll has put himself in a fantastic
Yeah, and
position.
Sardakk was the dummy faction, right? Out
Yeah,
of
so
the-
talk
out of
to
the gate.
me. Talk to me. You designed this map, or this draft,
Yep.
both the factions and the slices. So talk to me a bit about the choices you made for this one, for round 1 of the Hell Mode Invitational.
So it was everything turned up to 11, right? I said party mode, and then Django rolled in and said more like carnage mode, and both are true.
Deal around that because that's something I'd like.
Both are true. So every faction in this draft super powerful, and everyone's looking at Sardakk in this draft, being like, "Oh, are they at that level?"
Hello, Bay.
And
Lift this token.
I think the important thing is it's all about that commander with Sardakk being able to move across planets without the need for ships makes your borders so much different when you're defending against
pay stuff.
traditional
Would become native.
factions who have to carry their infantry and ships and all that sort of stuff. All of a sudden,
And
you have to.
Especially on a planet-rich map, right? Like,
Yes, exactly.
Look,
exactly.
every system within this like Mahact Sardakk area
Yep.
has planets. He can just walk across the. He doesn't need ships at all. He can just walk around.
No, from that wriggle system, he could get 3 onto Mechatol
Okay, you
if
don't
he
have
so
to-
desires. So that's not even talking about going into other people and
Is there
things
any
like
deal
that.
we can come to where you lifted anyway?
It's powerful. It's a powerful Sardakk map. So I think if you get them right, if you get the start right,
Maybe
which
if you give
Troll
me-
looks like he's doing.
He got that Mahact token lift, and I think
Yep.
it's going to cost Mahact the game.
So these get-
Yep, he can get a whole bunch of infantry. He
I
can
don't
get
know,
him
is
moving
that
around.
good for
He
you?
can do what he needs to do.
I
And
like
he's
to
going to have a lot of resources and
That's
stuff to
essentially you
get it done
giving
with.
Bay 2 trade goods.
Wait, you've got those 2 and
I
his?
can't-
Yeah, I think you look at all the other factions around the slice. You're looking at Mahact. You're looking at Naalu and Xxcha. Everyone's powerful. Everyone
Why?
solves a lot of problems just
Okay.
by virtue of being the faction that they are.
That's
And
it.
Sardakk,
2 trading.
they don't solve a hell of a lot of problems, but they have an ability that not a lot
guess
of
I'd do
people
that.
have.
Well, I mean, look,
Makes the game.
people really underestimate Unrelenting as well. Like,
Yeah.
+1 to combat rolls. Like,
It's huge. It's
It's-
huge. It's an extra 10% in a closed system where the max you can get is 90, right? It's
Yep.
It's huge.
Getting a lot more than $2.
and that's
Yeah, that's
I think what's interesting as well is like
Falling trade, so I
it's
guess
stronger on like the low production units, right?
Mm.
Infantry and fighters. The
Yes.
difference between 20% and 30% is a lot more than like 60% and 70%.
Absolutely. Yep. And easy to stack those numbers as well. So
Mhm.
Sardakk, get a bunch of infantry, give them all a +1.
Uh,
They become very, very strong.
And I think there's also Sardakk will be able to transition into a late game built around their special dreadnoughts, the Exotriremes.
Yeah.
Because
They've
they-
had money
I-
in this game.
Exotrireme 2 is often considered maybe the best ship in the game.
Yes.
It's a dreadnought that gets to bombard twice, and when at the end of a combat round, you can sacrifice one of them to destroy 2 enemy ships. Now, you get to pick those ships. Those can be War Suns, they can be flagships, they can be enemy dreads. So you can
Yeah.
trade your Dreadnought 2s.
fucking way.
For anything.
-1.
Anything.
Ooh, we see the Mahact agent on that Nekro fleet. So now there is someone who can put some check onto Sardakk.
Wise.
Very wise. I mean,
Let me get through this.
listen,
I'll hit you back.
Bay's decisions have put him in a tricky position, and
Mm-hmm.
now he's going to put the pressure back on Troll by helping the neighbor of his neighbor. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
It's my friend, no true up.
Currently, right. Okay, so
So talk to me a little bit more about the map and faction design. Who are the other two factions that we don't see here that were in the draft?
Who have we got? Titans, one of them.
Mhm.
Speak for themselves. Another faction that's all the way up to 11 in regards to
you're
being
getting-
powerful and having their
well,
influence on the board.
My original plan.
Um,
This was a free refresh.
The 8th.
And then I owe you two.
Hey, you're making me scratch my
It,
head.
it was Cabal is the other faction. That's right.
Cabal, there you go. And another one. Speaks for themselves, right? Give them a bit of time. They'll get their plastic everywhere. They will
It's-
change the way you play. So
It's
all the
really
factions
interesting.
included, just super beefy, strong factions.
Yeah. Well, Cabal are like they're the war of attrition faction, right?
Mhm,
Which can
mhm.
play out really nicely in a 14-pointer because
Great.
as long as you don't get whittled down too far,
Yeah,
you know, maybe get your docks eliminated, Cabal can just really put the pressure on one or two players by grinding them to dust. Titans, on the other hand, super strong early. They've got those cruiser twos with sustain.
Yeah, an automatic PDS network and what
That's
is
right.
considered by many to be the best ship in the game with their Saturn Engine 2s.
For you. Okay, great.
I'm a big
solve a lot
fan.
of
I
problems
know
by
that
them
you
being
love
better.
the Titans faction, don't you, 4B? Your
One of my
favorite
absolute
faction?
Favorites to see crushed and ground into the dirt. Yes.
That's right. That's
They
right.
just get everything handed to them. I'll never stop ranting about this. It's unbelievable.
Look, I tend to agree with you in 10-pointers. They are maybe a little too good at scoring points.
Yeah.
And then I haven't played a lot with them in 14-pointers, but the fact that you get what is essentially 7 extra dreadnoughts with 3 movement, it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound
No,
bad.
it's not a-
And like
it's
you
not a
said,
bad
they
place
get
to
a
be.
free PDS to build their defense.
Yep.
You know, maybe they don't have the power of Mahact Star Lancers and 5 extra tokens. They don't have Xxcha triremes, but damn, Saturn engines are close.
Yeah. Militarily hard to crack, and if you need to go to their home system,
Don't do it now.
it's difficult, and you probably do because they get a lot of objectives.
That's right.
rented.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They have, you know, they get those structure objectives kind of free.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at control objectives. Like, I think the place they struggle is those tier 2 spendies.
Yes.
Though their hero giving them a 7 resource home means that the resource one can sometimes be pretty scoreable. But I think 10 trade goods and 16 influence, they're both pretty tricky.
It can be hard, and they do need their tokens. So obviously, that's the one thing they get no help whatsoever on. So they need to write slides for that.
That's true. They need to find influence pretty quick, smart.
Yeah, but basically, you're looking at all factions that impact the way everyone around the table has to play. So, and none of them need like a leg up, so to speak. So, Xxcha, you have to do something about them. Naalu, you're never going first. That kind of thing. To just invite a whole bunch of interaction with these players who see the threats around them, hopefully, and make some dynamic moves. And we're seeing that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting to me that the two factions in this particular group that didn't get picked are Cabal and Titans, who have maybe the fastest starts.
Yeah.
Instead, all of the slow start factions. I mean, you could probably argue that Saar start is is also very, very fast. Naalu start is comparably fast, but I wouldn't say it's as fast as Titans or Cabal. Probably, it's close.
No.
It's close nowadays. But...
Out of the bat, they just get to go basically wherever they want. It's a little bit more restricted with those other factions. But
yeah, and I think because of that, Titans and Cabal could take some of the slightly more restrictive slices in the draft.
Because they all had minor problems to solve. Well, if they the richer they were, the more problems generally they had.
Jordan wants me to say that Argent have the fastest start, but they weren't in the draft pool, so that's why I was not talking about them.
When he went to here instead of going here.
We can talk about Argent in one of the next 2 rounds. I forget which one.
There's peace to be made. I'm interested in Forever Wars.
Oh, here we go. Sardakk seemed to have changed their tune. He's happy with no Forever War. He's happy with no Forever War now that Nekro has a fleet on his border unlocked. Would
have been interesting to see if Mahact did not lift that token. What would have happened?
I still don't know why you don't just throw that exoskeleton into Semlor, though. I mean, it doesn't make you any less defended here. But he's
Right? How many
taking- yeah.
tokens is he sitting on? Maybe that's the limitation.
He's got one
Well,
more.
Semlor's a much more richer planet than that.
It
as
is.
well.
It's a rich planet. But I think he's going to take Aang, he's going to take Atlas, and he's just going to sit on a slice and a half.
The tricolour.
Though Nekro might take Archon Veil off him. It's not easy, though. He's still got to beat that
All the flavors.
exoskeleton.
Yeah. One mech, one infantry, or 2 infantry, 2 mechs, I think, is what Cheesy can get in there.
Yeah. Let's.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the
I mean,
red.
It's tough combat.
Money in revenge. Yeah,
Let me
finishing
see. Let me just.
Yeah, I mean, if he already had a faction tech to steal off him, then it would be different, because the Necro mechs get very scary there, but...
Yeah.
I'll pay. Yeah, are we neighbours though?
We are not neighbours. If you come to Atlas, we'll be neighbours.
I think that relationships with the Mahact are very low at the moment, and taking Atlas might be not
Funny.
particularly diplomatic.
I think you mean funny.
Well, now he's now he's thinking about being diplomatic. I don't know why. He's got his boot on the neck. And if there's
He
one thing
really
I've
does.
learned about Hell Mode is you don't take the boot off the neck.
We'll see. We'll see if Troll comes to rue this.
I'm happy to give you the green.
Sorry, I'm just messaging Blue for 1 sec. Whoops.
Or do you want to give do you want to do it the other way around and give me?
Negotiations ongoing.
Yeah, I think whoever gets the green is getting the raw deal.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm happy to take.
thanks for tuning in, Driftwood. Unfortunately, there isn't an actual Big Al here
I'm just-
tonight. It is me, the Muffin Manifesto, and 4Burner commentating on the Hell Mode game. But we are very graciously hosted by Big Al's channel.
Hijacked.
We've hijacked it. That's right.
Hmm.
This is
With permission. Does that count?
the Aussie takeover of Big Al, our lovable South African Kiwi, and his we're capitalizing on his inbuilt Twilight Imperium audience.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if there's anyone waking up and being like, "Oh my god, Big Al is streaming.
Warlord in
What
action.
the hell's going on here?"
Yeah.
It's like, what time is it? 1 a.m. over there?
Should I leave a ship at home?
Yeah, it'd be getting close to 1 a.m. Midnight now and 1 a.m.
Midnight, actually.
Midnight
yeah.
now. But yeah, Jared signing up to this tournament knowing most of his games would go till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. is
Yep.
It's
Absolute
a
champion.
yeah,
Absolute champion.
he's an absolute champion.
Or an absolute.
I believe he filled in one of the last few slots. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct. I really wanted him involved because he's a good player. He brings a lot to the table. He plays hard, sees the deals, sees value, and you never quite know when he's going to turn on you, which I appreciate.
I think that's absolutely true. I think he's also just a very. I think he'll be a bit of a crowd pleaser. He's a
Yes.
very dynamic player. He
Sure,
can
but
get a bit
Alan Lope's
emotional.
style.
He can get a bit emotional in games, and I don't mind that. I think that's I think it can be a lot of fun to have a player
That's
like
what
that
the gallery's
on the
here for,
board.
right? The real human experience.
That's
Are you
it. That's
seriously
it.
leaving Mechatol untaken?
We have
Fine.
some
Taking
player
the bar.
insight in Twitch chat. Xxcha has played with Troll a fair bunch, and he says Troll is a vindictive player.
He'll be holding on to this all game,
Is this your method for avoiding?
and yet he didn't go into Semlor. So
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
It still happens.
so this was he was being vindictive for losing that carrier above Hope's End, I see.
I believe it was back on the Hope's End stuff. Yes.
Mm.
I mean, I don't have enough.
Yeah, listen, Xxcha, I know, but I can't pay attention to the game and 4Burner's antics and you at the same time.
Leaves me spread.
Because you should just join commentary, and then you wouldn't have to type it out like a chump.
It's up to you.
That's right.
But I think
Oh,
if you
yeah,
want
that's-
to,
Get you in on the next one, Xxcha, for some commentary. Xxcha and I are playing together in our round.
Then I can't build.
And like I said, I've had the dubious pleasure of Xxcha be taking my home system a couple of times,
That'll
teaching
happen.
me lessons.
I think you're one over on fighters.
Saar moving around, doing builds. Classic.
This is game in
I'm
the trash,
happy,
guys.
I'm happy to trade you red for green, Marty, before you pass your turn. For $1, because
Fragment deals going down.
Sorry, just give me.
Mm. We've got some frags moving around. We haven't seen a relic yet, have we?
No, not that I have noticed.
So overall, let's have a quick look at how many frags are on the board. There is 1 blue in Naalu, 1 blue in Sardakk, 1 blue in Nekro. So there is a potential relic there, but they'd have to
I think they're playing
Yeah,
work
they all
out a
gotta
lot of
come on
trade
the benefit.
deals.
Yeah, no one will want to give it up at the moment.
That's absolutely it. Saar have 2 green frags and Sardakk have 1 green flag. There might be
Currently
a deal in the
negotiating, I believe.
offerings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See how much they get for it.
man.
Volumes.
I think Troll wants to trade, and Troll's willing to make one trade good. Chuck it in to make
Yeah,
that
that's
happen.
got 3 influence.
I see.
And now they're talking about planets. Ooh, a lot of eyeballs.
And there are they are all looking spicily at Berriglurda. But I'm pretty sure Xxcha still get those planets.
Drugs are very influential.
Better.
More than likely.
I mean, Saar could just decide to move these dreadnoughts off Mechatol, but that would be
If they don't want the custodian point, what a move.
that'd
It's
be.
a point.
I mean,
but
the
first
one thing to
custodian.
be said about this play, not unlocking custodians, is like you do get a faster pace to these earlier rounds, right?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
there was no agenda, and he's blocking anyone else from getting it until he's ready to take
You
it.
can watch my triggers.
There's a thing here where he could take Berriglurda and then take custodians because he's got the 2 tokens left.
Oh boy!
Passing the
No, but he's paying some for the.
very good to Xxcha, and hopefully he'll pass that to you. If he doesn't, I will absolve
Oh,
myself.
he's paying his debt.
I am that frag. So Troll, you've put that frag over here
Oh,
already.
looks like he's still not trying.
He's just catching up. Yep.
A red and a dollar.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, let's do it.
So he gets a second
Yep,
red.
pays buck. That
Okay.
makes
He gets
sense.
his second red,
Just grab
and
Thank you.
let's
He gets
Saar
a
have the relic now. And this way he can then barter with Xxcha, who's not yet neighbors with.
build.
No.
Oh, but he will be if he takes Atlas because of the beaters.
Yeah.
And it's the
Build
bunghole.
in here, and then I'm gonna end my.
And Sardakk still have Warfare. He has a token and oh my goodness.
Mm.
If my Mahact don't build on Semlor soon, I'm gonna be.
Sardakk custodian grab.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be
you
something?
You Warfare, then
He'd have
take
to warfare off
Mechatol.
gang. Yeah. Or the
Mechatol
Rival.
out from under them. Does he have the 6 influence? It doesn't look like it right now.
Mm.
Can he maybe get there by selling off some more of these things?
He's probably in the market for that red, I think.
I can't make it work with you, but I
Yeah, so it looks like more like he's in a buyer's market than a seller's market. And then, but where's he? What's the speaker positioning?
anyone.
Never mind then.
Mahact have politics.
More than
Saar's
likely to
sitting
sell
above.
it.
Saar's sitting
You know, it
above.
doesn't buy. Yeah.
I think Sardakk do get custodians next round.
Mm.
I think they're going to snake it out from under Saar because they're going to have initiative. They just take the lowest initiative they can.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll probably be 3rd pick, but that's probably Diplo.
Yo.
Are we just going to do...
Maybe leadership if they're lucky.
Mm.
And they just sneak some dudes onto
Yeah,
Mechatol.
I guess so.
Take that
I didn't
custodian's
think
point.
you had politics. I guess I give you 2 of these.
And
What
Saar's
about
little...
if Saar doesn't take it? Yeah, we see
That's
what
it.
Saar does.
Well, Saar no longer has enough trade goods to do it.
Oh wow, okay.
He spent some buying the green frag and
Ah.
paying his trade debt, and now he's only got 2. If he takes 2 planets, that's only 4. He'd have to get a lucky explorer on Berriglurda.
Yeah, cheese. Are you okay with paying the money?
Wow.
To me instead to
Custodian free game. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing custodians this round, but
Yeah.
I think Sardakk get it very early
Next round. Yeah, yeah.
and obviously just usual meta, first pick, blah, blah, blah.
First pick, blah blah blah.
Yeah, sure.
Be clearer about the deal.
Oh,
Alright,
they're
well,
fine.
He
They're fine.
So he's collecting. So he's taking 2 debt tokens that belong to Nekro.
Retain first pick.
Yep, selling the debt on.
Um,
I've seen this a bit more and more, and honestly, I fucking love it.
Do you?
I do. I really do. It's so unbinding, and it breaks so quickly. But selling debt tokens, oh, one of my.
Right, so you love it because it can mess
because it
everything
can
up.
collapse spectacularly. Absolutely.
Well, this
but
is
it
the
also,
thing,
it's
right?
flexible for negotiations as well. You can move it around.
I follow this.
Yes, Jezza believes that they should have just kept the pressure onto Mahact and deleted them.
Yeah, right, all yours, Matt.
So we were talking about the concept of board balance earlier, but
Yeah.
if two players converge on one player and get like 1.5 slices each,
Mhm.
if they can do that in a way that allows them to keep their border on the other side secure enough,
Stable. Yep.
the board balance meta changes a lot because those
Yeah.
two players can work together to be the big dogs at the table, right?
It becomes sort of a 2 versus 3 situation.
That's it. That's
And
it.
those three are not going to be working very well together,
That's
depending on
it.
what's happening. Yeah.
And the two have 1.5 slices each, so it's 3 slices versus 3 slices. They may be a little disadvantaged on like how many activations they can do and how many times they can pull their cards, but you
Yep.
can see these team up situations work really, really well.
Yeah.
They can also backfire spectacularly. I tried to set up that exact situation with Xxcha in our last Hell Mode game. The problem was I took Imperial one too many times, and he decided not to support swap with me and go in on the 2-player sharing 3
Share
slices.
3. Yep. There you go.
To be fair, usually a Hell Mode game won't include support swaps. Is that correct?
I think Nekro's going to do a few actions.
I think so. I think that's a Hellfish thing. I'm not sure.
So are support swaps allowed in the Hell Mode Invitational?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
They
It's
are.
rules as written.
Rules is written, so it's in the box, and therefore it is in the game.
There's no caveat. I want the eventual champion of this thing to walk away, knowing that they didn't win any sort of weird modified version. They didn't get lucky because
I
of
understand.
blah blah blah. Didn't realize a thing had happened. I want them to walk away knowing they won a bunch of very high level games of Twilight Imperium 4.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I understand why some of the Hell Mode players have adopted that rule. So the rule actually comes from async. So in async games, you play where support swaps can't be given. Instead,
No direct swaps. You can't.
no direct swaps. Once you have someone's support, you are not allowed to give them yours.
They cannot have yours.
It is like actually errated onto the support card. So it's not like just it's not just direct swaps. It's like you can't even inadvertently swap by like diplo pressuring each other. Yeah.
And I do like it to a point. The thing that I really love, all the effort around the support card, is trying to re-commodify it and break it out of that swap mindset where it's just here's a point, here's a point. Because a point is such an important and valuable thing to be able to hand out. But if the best thing you can get with it is another point, then usually that's the sale price, right? That's exactly what you're going to buy with it. So it's very much open to modifications.
And it's not only buying another point, but also like it's a non-aggression pact, right?
Yeah, that's it. All the baggage that comes with it, definitely.
It doesn't really come across that well. What are your thoughts, Purple?
Exactly. Ruskin in chat saying it's a valuable bargain. It should be sold or extorted. Definitely agree. But then there's the whole meta. If you know everyone's going to swap, then are you in a race to swap it before it gets extorted out of your hand?
So I'm not gonna.
What a conundrum, especially in a Hellfish level game or a Helmo level game, right, where you can maybe expect some big extortion plays to come in.
Ruskin also points out it can be a good target for players. So if someone diplo pressures you early, especially if they're your neighbor, it's fine to just give them your support because then you have free reign to walk into their slice, and if they want to take any of it back, they have to give you the support back. That's where like
a free ticket to the Equidistant and more.
And that's what like you got to really like work out, is this point actually worth me holding on to?
Exactly.
And it's real tricky in 14-point games. If you get given an early support, chances are you're not holding on to that.
No.
It's the supports that come out in round 5, round 6, round 7. They're the ones that might stick. That said, I have seen people win games with 3 or 4 supports in 14 points because they hem themselves in because there's no one they can activate. But if they can just keep scoring points by fiddling around in their slice, someone like
Twist
NRA
themselves into whatever knot you need to score the points that are out there while holding on to those supports you've got. Absolutely.
Yeah. quick recap of round 1 and 2 here. Mahact early went into Naalu's equidistant, triggering some ill will, as well as attacking a destroyer that was planted on the B hole. Then in early round 2, Mahact destroyed a carrier of Sardakk's, trying to get those tokens and commander unlocked, but has, in response, been hemmed in. Most of their slice has been eaten. Sardakk had an amazing round 1 due to a Mahact token lift, allowing them to take 4 planets. Not quite enough to unlock their commander, but in response to losing that carrier on Hope's End, they flew over to the Rigels and have hemmed in the Mahact, putting themselves in a great position to score more planets than their neighbors.
Yeah, you got influence.
Nekro got a really nice start. They got Primal round 1, which solved their infantry problem. They grabbed an extra carrier and were able to take their whole slice round 1. And now, because of the Mahact lift, they're going to be able to put some pressure back onto Sardakk, as we expected. But he's got to win that fight. If he misses this bombard, he needs to move more than this, because if that bombard misses, he loses that fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, and if he wins, if he kills this mech, he also gets gravity drive and can start pushing into Naalu as well through the alpha.
And all of a sudden, those tech snipes become more and more ranged.
That's right. Xxcha, Jared in the blue seat, had a horrible start. Xxcha, known for a slow start, he was 6-pick in speaker. He but he did get politics, so he got to put himself in a good position this round. Unfortunately, needed to take construction, which he missed round 1 because he needed to get some production online. Problem is, with only 2 planets, he doesn't have the resources to produce that much anyway. He's
gonna be building. Yeah.
He's also really hemmed in by the objectives. 3 control objectives, terrible for Xxcha's slow start.
He needs to get up around Mechatol.
And this is why. Does he have a way to get into this alpha or into Laser Saculag to get a second next to Mechatol? I don't think he does.
No.
Unless he's got some spicy action cards to get him through that asteroid field.
He's got 5 in his hand?
Yeah.
5 in hand already, yep. He's followed politics round 1 and he took politics round 1 and followed it round 2. And but yeah, he took a desperate gamble throwing a cruiser at a dreadnought over Primal, trying to get the airspace so that he could then take the airspace over Ever and score a point. Scoring those early points so important to Xxcha because getting their hero unlocked turns them into a real faction. Key to
getting them online.
Right now, he is a porcelain faction. If Nekro wasn't interested in the board balance of keeping Sardakk in check over here, he could be the one eating a slice here on the left. And Saar have already taken the equidistant just because Xxcha didn't have the ships to push in. Saar themselves had a very interesting round 1 where they pushed forward into Laser Saculag, built an extra space dock, and then looked like they were going to take Mechatol Rex round 1, and instead just built a dreadnought and a bunch of fighters above it, protecting it. We thought for the round 2 grab when he took leadership, but he did the gambit again, spent all of his influence on leadership, gets a boatload of tokens, and builds another dreadnought. He sits there above Mechatol Rex. We think this might not pay off for him, though, because Sardakk can sneak under with their sneaky commander at the beginning of round 3. We'll see if that's it. We'll see if that pans out, because Saar will now be last pick in speaker order. Naalu ended up having quite a good round 1, despite Mahact taking their equidistant and killing their destroyer in the beta, because the Naalu agent is busted, and so he just took the other equidistant because Saar was busy floating things over Mechatol. And so he got 5 planets regardless, and then got to put pressure back on Mahact because Mahact kind of like stretched out thin trying to get those tokens and didn't build enough plastic.
Yep.
They didn't build enough ships.
Early vital plastic out and about, and now they're a little bit open.
That's it. He's got the infantry to keep like his home system locked down, but it's just...
Well, he doesn't... Look at this. It's the end of round 2, and he doesn't own the tip of his slice, right? He's got those wriggles out there.
He barely owns half his slice.
Yep.
So is he,
no equidistant.
Is there an agreement with Sardakk? Is he going to get Atlas at least?
Yeah.
I just wanted money for money.
I don't know. I just don't know.
because then he's gonna have to go down to 1 fleet or 2 fleet off predictive, so that he can build anything at some law. Oh boy, I don't know how I
Tough.
feel about.
I mean, they're
this
a
one.
late game faction,
They
so
are.
we see if he gets there.
And I had to debate because I was last pick in my draft pool and decided to leave faction to last pick. I had to pick between Mahact, Xxcha, and Naalu. Naalu get that start that's quite powerful, but I find the heat on Naalu too much to handle.
You've got eyes on you from the jump, yeah.
That's it. And especially I feel like my table has some of the most experienced Hellfish, Hell mode players, including some of the Hellfish. The Hellfish being the people, the small group of players who play, I believe IRL or play regularly together on Sundays, who basically invented Hell mode, as far as I'm aware.
If you look up dick kicking in the dictionary, it's a picture of these people.
Some of whom we've seen pop in on stream already tonight. Jezza in chat. Jordan was spectating the game for a while. We mentioned the one who is not in the tournament, Zadx, the async master.
Zaddy baby, yep.
Who else is in there? Hellfish. We've got Kalanos, who's in my game. Eschaton's in game 3. There's a few that I'm missing off the rip. Oh my
You're
god!
fine.
Oh,
if you're already game
Mendicant. How did I forget the Mendicant
Oh,
bias?
Jesus. Yeah. Oh, that's because he's quiet. He doesn't talk. He just
That's
hangs
right.
out.
That's it. He's maybe one of the quietest TI4 players because he talks with his ships and his infantry, I guess, when he's Sardakk.
His plastic does the talking.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's interesting meeting Mendy in person for the first time because he's also an incredibly intimidating physical figure. He's got arms the size of tree trunks. And you don't expect that from someone who is a board game aficionado. But I suppose the way that he plays board games, maybe it makes more sense.
It translates. Yeah. You look at the moves he makes and you're like, yeah, that's a man who bench presses at least 320 pounds.
Am I worried?
Oh, is Moon worried?
Should I worry about Cheesy coming in?
Probably.
Nekro got the grab drive. Nekro now proud possessor of Archon Rex. Not Archon Rex. What planet is that?
The issue.
The equidistant between himself and Troll.
Archon Veil.
Yeah.
You almost had it.
You can pay me.
And now with grab drive, that wormhole, the alpha, looking open between Naalu and the Nekro.
Yeah, so I imagine Moon is wondering whether it's worth almost basically giving up a tech by gumming up the alpha.
Yeah.
But at least protecting his planets. I don't think Nekro can get anything to Lodor that matters. He could get the cruisers in.
A couple
to
of
grab
cruisers,
a tech,
right? But he's not taking the planet.
but he's not taking the planet. So basically, gumming it up would kind of just give away the tech anyway, unless he moves a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe you just plop more ships on Lodor.
I think you just yeah.
I think what he's done is just as reasonable. He's just building at home, getting more plastic on board, so that if Nekro decides to move in and nab a tech, he's going to be sacrificing the 2 cruisers to the smash back.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's a more reasonable cost for the tech than. Yeah. I think there's a bit of a meta thing in Nekro games where people will say, oh, once Nekro start hitting them, they go, oh yeah, I won't retreat, and you can have your tech if you give me 1 trade good. That's the best deal ever if you're Nekro. Take it every time.
Yeah.
Because you're literally getting a tech for 1 TG and an action card most of the time.
Yeah. And they've made a deal so they can't be spicy at you. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I think Nekro are one of those factions that you have to put pressure on early, like Naalu, but for very different reasons. Nekro have a slow start, and you need to not let them get out of the gates too much. Naalu have a fast start, but they also have scoring tempo, which other factions don't.
Yeah.
In this game, they don't have the extra scoring tempo of being able to guarantee custodians because Saar have been sitting on top of it, but they do have the 0 token, and that means they always have initiative. They can take tech till the last round and still score first.
Yep. They just pick their moment, right? Pick their moment where they make that final surge of points, or they decide when the game ends for them, essentially.
That's right. They're very scary in swing rounds. If they have a bunch of unscored secrets, I'd be nervous.
That's it. I mean, you should be nervous about Naalu whenever they hit the table.
That's
As soon as
right.
they start having 1 or 2 zeros in their hand, that's when you should be terrified.
And we also forgot, though, that this Naalu went for a very early Neuroglaive.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So, I
Nekro.
mean, Nekro would have to lose a token,
Oh, yeah,
but
they-
they'd get to grab Neuroglaive early.
Mm.
Ooh, that would be that'd make their pressure onto Sardakk much more meaningful. It
I
means they could turn
probably-
around and start eating Xxcha.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You want Neuroglaive, right?
I mean, you play it right. You give it. Oh, here we go. They're talking about it.
I do. Moon, I do.
We
He
can.
does. Cheesy says, I do
I
want that
do.
Neuroglaive.
I also don't.
But he also doesn't.
I'm wondering if I'm ever getting it ever again. You know?
Oh fuck!
also-
Now the game's starting.
Oh no. Um. Yeah.
Let's listen in on this negotiation.
Play it nice and slow and just make sure that this
Ooh, he goes for the slow play.
doesn't
He
get.
doesn't want to leave his dock open.
built
I don't
there.
know who
It's
could
got
hit it, though.
agents.
Oh, Saar.
Inside.
Saar is still active.
I can just ask.
If he
Saar
let-
with that Mechatol fleet. Yeah.
That's right. If he left those docks open, I think that would be too juicy for Saar to resist. He only has 1 infantry,
Yeah.
so he could only knock out 1. But I mean, losing a dock that early and a 3-resource planet, I wouldn't want to.
Used.
And unfortunately, it looks like Nekro didn't have the stalls to wait out Saar.
No. Early game, so they're probably all tokens, no action
I'm
cards.
more than happy to return these 2 systems to you at, relatively early.
Ah, there we go. Cheesy. Locking it down. Doing a build.
Oh, look at that! I'm even gonna burn the token. I'm even gonna burn the troops, so you don't even have to have it. Right, there you go.
Oh, we're back on Troll.
Okay.
Troll having a look at Atlas.
He has taken it.
Getting rewarded. for
Ah, I see. So he took the Explore, but he's sacking the dude so that Mahact can take it.
And I'll grab.
Oh, but Mahact didn't predictive.
Bag.
Maybe they have a stall in hand.
it. Mm.
Oh no, predictive's already been used.
Oh, there we go.
He just doesn't have the token to take it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Just content with their round. Mahact, what are they scoring?
I could sell it to.
Good luck.
Obviously.
He moved into this asteroid field. That's
Mm.
1.
I'll also.
Oh,
Hello?
and Hope's End? Legendary and...
Oh, he's got the ships floating above Hope's End. Okay, he does get to score his
Did you do it
point.
for free, troll? Or
Sorry, I didn't see the ships because they're red and they sort of blend
Yeah,
in with
Hope's End, they
the,
blend in.
the whatever that is around Hope's End.
Aura. I believe it's a mystic, malignant aura.
Yeah, Hope's End sort of looks like a gas giant, but
Yeah,
Possibility.
but also
But-
not.
it's definitely not underneath.
Obviously, cheap.
I guess it's sort of like a
Thick gas giant.
Giving me a fair bit of.
yeah. I guess maybe it's like acid clouds or something.
You know, I do love to
Yeah,
attack
that's
trolls.
some-
Sulfuric clouds, perhaps.
I'd accept that. I'd be okay with that.
Get a good tech. and
I
then-
bet you there is a lore expert out there who could tell us the answer.
Okay, we will
Between Ruskin and Jezza.
We'll figure this out.
I don't know that they're in this.
I think I might.
Let's read. Hope's End, buried in the Xxcha Nebula. So maybe that's what the red thing is. It's
Sure,
a
right,
red
yeah.
nebula.
Yep,
The
yep.
Lazaks used the toxic wildlife and fierce aurora storms to train their troops. So it's an aurora storm around the
Alright.
planet. Even now, volatile weapons caches remain hidden beneath its sands, and that's where the mechs come from.
There we go.
For me, because I was.
I'd be pretty okay with finding a mech hidden beneath the sand if I just went digging around my backyard. Be okay.
But then you would end up being in a anime series, so you'd have to be 13
Oh, yeah. All right.
and then deal
Yeah.
with like existentialism and
Mhm.
themes of like
I'd
whether
have to-
war
I'd
is
have to get a
valuable.
really-
and-
Terrible haircut. But to be honest, my current haircut is pretty terrible. And I do think about weird existential shit all the time. So maybe
you
I
saying-
am destined to be an anime mech pilot.
Are you saying that having weird blue hair is a bad thing?
Drifty, nailing it far more than he would actually actually know in chat. Yeah, 100%.
That's right. a strained relationship with your father absolutely required.
Yep. Key.
We talked about this earlier. Jordan has jumped into chat. We talked about the fact that Saar have sat atop Makatol for a little while. Means that
2 rounds
Sardakk
now. 2 rounds moved in, built.
2 rounds doesn't even take custodians, but Sardakk can just slide on in with Goma Mama.
Because I've been
3 infantry sitting there, ready to go.
He could
And
get a
needs
mech and 3 infantry in there if he just wants to hold it.
Oh look, I'm staring directly at Aang. I forgot about the Wriggles.
Retreat out of there.
If he doesn't want to hold on to these Wriggles once he's scored more planets than his neighbors,
Yep.
he slides
knows where to
in
go.
all his units there, then agents.
Obviously, it's up to you what you want to do.
Saar can't get enough units in there, even with bombards, unless he builds a lot of infantry right now.
Yeah.
You can still get the objective if you don't
Wow, we see.
take ground.
It's such an interesting play from Saar.
We'll go
I'm a
for
huge
the
fan of this, just for how interesting it's made.
planet.
Ooh, so there was some tense negotiation there because
Oh.
Naalu is pushing back on Saar by taking Cormand. It is a
go.
3 resource planet, and like you said,
Yeah.
it's too valuable not to.
Dude, I guess I take the dude.
And this is the problem with positioning your fleet all the way up here, and Naalu have Neuroglaves, so you don't want to push back into them. You
guess
gotta make sure your borders are secure.
Yeah.
You need to be taken down a notch.
The points leader, he's up 1 point on the board.
That's enough. That's what it takes. This is hell mode.
I think Marty may have missed the tongue-in-cheekness
Do
there.
you have any bets? I don't have.
Get him.
That's not true, Cheese. That's not true. I've got infinitely many more points. Like,
Well,
I
as
have
far
many
as I'm
points.
concerned.
Alright. I will announce the trick. So,
Okay, so I'm not playing cards. You're not playing
cards.
cards. You
No,
Tekla,
retreat.
Tensel Tekla, Tensel Tekla.
But yeah,
Tekla,
it'd be
mate.
interesting to see what this Saar fleet actually does, because maybe it pushes back on Sardakk.
Yeah.
Maybe it pushes into Xxcha just to
Does it just go into
ruin his
Naalu now?
game.
Maybe take Lodor for no reason whatsoever?
How much can actually reach Lodor?
Might just land.
The space dock and
Oh,
some
it's a
fighters.
good point. I'm not sure. They've
He
only got
didn't-
chaos
he-
mapping, don't they? Yeah.
They went chaos mapping and not gravity drive, so
Yep.
the cruiser can get there. The
That's it.
space
Right.
dock could take the fighters. I guess that's enough, but he loses a fleet
I thought
Yeah.
I give you. I give.
on activation, so he'd have to lose one of these dreads.
That means you get like an extra infantry with your Mechatol fleet, right? Am I
Or
right?
he
That's
loses the crew,
true.
or he
Yeah,
lets
alright.
this cruiser die.
Mechatol. That's so silly. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it.
Okay, so he's done a deal to let
Mm.
his 1 infantry survive by giving Rag's call.
And I'll take Command.
I believe that has to go on a planet. It can't just float there in space. Let's see where it's going.
Yeah, Martin,
Moon
did you-
correctly identified it can't go onto Mechatol, so
I can send it
yeah.
again if you like.
Just give me. It's all good. I'll
Has to go on a planet, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, we're just finding out where it is.
So I.
So over on Mia.
Um.
So it's shoring up his influence over here.
so I think
Yeah.
On Green's turn, I will give 3 trade goods to Green for the fragment here.
Ooh, another fragment deal being done.
Oh, yep.
After that, I will make the relic, and then I'll pass.
Mooney is pre-planning his moves because he has to leave.
Ah, yes.
He was tight on time tonight.
I do need to go. Is that alright?
Yeah, okay.
I think the table are okay with that pre-plan.
So,
He's
yeah,
going to give the 3
If anything
trade good.
happens, like I get attacked, and just assume I core retreat.
We'll call you back in the chat if we need to.
Yeah. If I get attacked, call me back in. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's not difficult.
You guys, I'll see you next session.
Wait. What's
Oh.
Bay doing on his turn?
Let me just end it.
Bay's out of tactics.
Because on my next action, I'm attacking yellow here.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just core retreat here, and I'll go here. That's my promise.
Why is he doing that?
Now,
Oh, that's his second next to
there
Mechatol.
we
He
go.
found a point.
chaos mapping.
It just feels like a weird place to call it because I think the round's like 5 minutes from ending. But
Well, why don't you just
Yeah.
can you hold off your other game for 5 more?
all right, fine. I'll go on and fucking apologize.
Oh, that's right. Moon has another game, a league game finishing. Oh no, it's not even league, but it's another Hell Mode 14-pointer,
But,
or maybe it's a normal 14-pointer. I can't remember.
all right, so I'll do it
Round.
in 5 minutes.
Oh, and as I thought might
Yeah,
happen,
here we
Saar
go.
is just gonna slam into his neighbor.
Now I'm currently in. And or about to be in, which is the beta.
Sorry, say that again.
You leave me alone, so like my slice here and this slice here, you get these 2.
So
We start moving. ships in.
This it before he started moving ships in.
This is it,
Jared is
yep.
exploiting the weakened layered player. He's going to give him 2 frags to not attack him. I think this is a good. I think this is a.
The hell of an extort.
It's a reverse extort,
Well,
but
a
I
self
think
extort, yeah.
it's a self
I
extort. But
think
I
it's-
think,
it's
it's
paid off.
wise. I think it's wise because
Yep.
if Marty takes it, and it's pretty good for Marty. 2 frags is like maybe 4 trade goods, 5 trade
Yeah,
goods worth of
That's a
value.
lot of value. Yeah.
This continues, gentlemen. The crazy.
Okay, he's moving
Oh,
the
here we go.
whole fleet. He's moving the
Oh, right.
whole fleet.
The Saar board.
God, can he even win this ground combat? He's got to get 2 hits on the bombard, or he's
Yeah.
toast.
Do I want to leave one thing there?
I don't think this is the system to attack. I think you should have gone after the Rigels.
Yeah, this is interesting. Let's see how this one pans
Yeah,
out.
I think
Really-
Ang was a
really
mistake. I
infantry going in.
think he should have hit the Rigels, and he could have split his bombards and taken whichever planet hit, or if both hit, you
Yep,
could take
yep,
it too.
take both.
And that way, I think he maybe even point blocks Sardakk for the round,
Mhm.
because it would put Sardakk back on 1,
You got a
2,
trade good and a
3,
dude here. Is
4,
it just a
5,
reminder
6,
something?
7, 8. Ooh, 8 planets. He might still get there. He's got more. He'd still have more than Nekro. He'd still have
Right,
more than
right.
Mahact.
Yep.
Reminder for Chris.
Planet-rich slices.
Mm.
If you
Would-
Craziness.
But it would let
Just
Saar
like Mensa.
themselves score it. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. He's going for the ships next to Mechatol. He's not.
That's like my reminder here for tech.
So maybe he wasn't even going to take I mean, he probably would take the planet off Xxcha. It was free. Oh, was there a deal with Sardakk here not to take the planet?
Ooh.
Unlocked Neuroglaive on turn fucking 2. That's
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's cancer.
Moon has called his own strategy cancerous,
Yep.
and he's not
Fair.
wrong.
Fair enough. And he's not ashamed to play it, and that's what makes him the warlord.
That's it.
He understands we're not here to play for fun.
So
And that cruises down, didn't get a hit in return. So I think Jared will finally get a point on the board. If he
Mhm.
can score a secret this round or next round, he might be able to crawl
Yeah.
is maybe the right word. Not the word I meant to say, claw his way back into this game.
There's no agenda, so we'll have strategy phase, right? Can we do strategy?
So he activated
I guess.
Quan.
This is
we can
funny
just-
as fuck, by the way. I haven't seen
it's very
this in a
It's
long
hilarious.
time.
Has Saar moving here opened up Mechatol to anyone? Does
Yeah.
anyone have the money? Sardakk still do, but they don't have the movement. Everything's locked up.
Mhm.
Nekro? Nope, they've locked up as well.
No.
Doesn't have the money.
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe
he-
that's what Marty was waiting for.
That's what he's
No one
waiting
else-
for. He
no
was
one else
waiting
to
for
be able
no
to
one
come
to
in,
be
yeah.
able to take it.
now that you're in my slice.
This is equidistant, so technically our slice.
Cheesy calling it like it is.
Yeah.
Those
Oh.
equidistants do not belong to anyone, and even more so in Hell
Yep.
mode.
I gave it to you when it was currently your turn, Troll. That's
Yeah, you did.
Did I? I think I just put it in your area when it wasn't my action.
Yeah, but it was your turn. You had a turn. You gave me this, and I now pass it along.
Okay. Well, I need this one. This is what I bought.
Oh, that's what you bought. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I can give him the 3 trade goods, and I'll hold the fragment.
You can take that if you want.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I get $3. Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Alliance
yeah.
swap.
Well,
No, because then you'll just invade Centauri Groll. I know, because you can't, because
I can't
got
use it.
units
One,
in
I
it.
can't use it on you. Two,
Oh, Necro angling for the Sardakk Alliance.
protection.
Interesting. I think it's
yeah.
probably not a bad plan for Sardakk. They need to tech a lot to catch
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of action cards. They also
I'll go with an alliance swap.
get a soft
There it is.
non-aggression pact with
Let's
Nekro.
see. That looks like a BFAT, yes.
Which means they're not going to be able to take Archon Veil back,
Yep.
but they've got their weak player on
They've
their
got
right.
Mahact on the other side. I
That's
think
it.
that's
And
going to
look-
occupy a bit of Troll's attention.
Forgot about
Like, this is the thing. Normally, you'd
Um,
prefer to be going to war to your left, right? Because you'll
Mhm.
always have initiative over
You
them.
need which planet?
Mhm.
But
this one.
in this particular case, warring to your right's not so bad because the player on your right is light on plastic.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for me for organising this tournament and ultimately us for streaming it to give me a platform to say this. But the warring to the left thing, I think, is so overstated. You do have the advantage, of course, that you can always pick initiative over your opponent.
Mhm.
But that's just one facet of a war, right? That forces them into certain picks sometimes and all that sort of stuff. I think it's obviously a very heavy advantage, but you can successfully war to the right. And that's what we might see Troll
Can't bombard.
do here, regardless. So Mahact not looking in a great position. Sardakk definitely
do
Looking
the-
to shore it up against Nekro on his other side. You don't want to fight with Nekro because they just get stronger and stronger. So I think Sardakk versus Mahact is probably the
You know,
first,
Basically, two
maybe forever what we see in this
I'll
game.
show you what I'm bringing.
Yeah, I don't know how Forever War it'll be. I think if Sardakk play their cards right, especially if they decide
I mean, I was
to finish off the pressure and take out Semlor, which I think they agreed not to, but they still could change their mind. You know, like it's only a non-binding, right?
That's it. And we see how much this will probably go on for a few rounds, right? We'll see how much Mahact can build back, and how much Sardakk will.
Tekla is being
regret
offered to
it.
Nekro for something as well.
Murderous troll. If you do that, I'm probably going to insubordinate you.
Jezra chat saying no. Troll won't chase his mind. That's probably a safe call. The
Oh,
rest
he
of
was
the game.
offering Tekla on this activation when Nekro is going to try and take Zanhact off
Just transact
Turtles.
Oh wow.
No, we transacted. Oh yeah, we did.
Jared
They've
getting beat
already
up.
done a transaction this turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Jared threatened insubordination, an action card which would remove a tactics token.
Lovely.
Pretty big one. That said,
Commit.
it's 2 Necro infantry.
And Gomsekis.
Oh, but he got Gomsekis, so he
Oh.
gets a third one in. But there is a PDS, so we'll see if it ends up as a 2v1. The PDS hits, so it's a 2v1. Defender's advantage if they can get one hit before.
Oh, what the fuck is going on? Is that what
A good question, Cheesy. You should have 3 guys. No, 1 dies to the PDS. He's got 2 there. So
Yep.
Jared needs to get a hit before Nekro.
Already transacted, and he's
Xxcha needs to get a hit before Nekro in order to have defender's advantage here. Doesn't hit round 1, but neither does Nekro. Let's go again.
Oh.
No hit from Xxcha. 1 hit from Nekro. There goes the PDS. It is just a 0-1 planet, but losing that PDS is a real bummer.
That's the Xxcha do not like that. They're not as dependent on the PDS as they were, but they still don't like losing one. That's for sure.
No, and every planet counts when you've only got a few.
Every structure counts as well. Xxcha hates this. Round 2, they hate this.
And they now have 2 Necro Dreadnoughts with infantry and Gomsekis sitting on their doorstep, access to their home system, access to their front dock.
And initiative, because they are on the right.
Yes. So I'll take 8.
Jordan points out in chat, first action of round 3, Necro extort the home system. Maybe get a ceasefire. Maybe get a valuable alliance. Maybe get a big trade agreement. They're the only full commodity faction in the pool.
The support ceasefire combo.
Jezerabi says,
out of tokens,
Jezerabi said Mahact made their mistakes and Troll won't change his mind. But Troll won't change his mind. He made the deal to not take Semlor. We don't know. I missed the exact details of that deal. Maybe it was about politics. Not politics the card, but diplomacy.
Just
not
general
diplomacy
politics.
the card, but
I don't think Troll will want to piss Mahact off because he won't be looking at maybe I take him out now. He'll be thinking I don't want him to kill me later on in the game.
I have 6 cards.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I just?
I don't know about it. I think maybe if you put more pressure on Mahact would be just so
I think
crippled, so hamstrung.
Sardakk can definitely get an advantage over Mahact.
Yeah.
See you, bud.
All right, Mooner's bumped
Moon
off.
has been called
Oh,
away.
he did get a relic though. It was the Maw of Worlds.
Oh
boy, but he already has Neuroglaive. If he started on the blue tech, does he grab an early Lightwave Pro? I don't think he bothers. I think he might just grab an early assault cannon. Something that's way out of his way.
2 and you never take tech ever.
Oh no, you know what I'd do? I'd be more of Worldsing for War Suns because then you don't have to fuck around with red tech at all. I really like War Suns with Naalu because with War Suns you want to have that fighter screen and Naalu's fighters. And Naalu's fighters are cheaper, or their production is cheaper and they're stronger.
Activate home. Do that build.
So that's not true anymore, is it? They're not cheaper on production. They're better on fleet capacity.
Yeah.
Rook in chat, assault cannon is awkward on Naalu. I think it can be a little bit early because you're relying on carriers with a bunch of fighters, but it's not that hard to get your 7 destroyers out on the board. Jezza thinks War Suns are too much of a resource sink. I don't know. He's got a slice and a half already. He's got the resources. He could buy a War Sun next round. I see 3 resource planet, 3 resource planet, 3 resource planet, 3 resource planet. That's 12. Yeah, that's right, Rook. It's not good, but it is a little awkward because you need to put your you need to put some resources into things like destroyers and cruisers instead of their hyper crystal fighters. Jezza thinks Arse Cannon, then AI dev into War Suns later. Naalu always runs 3 ships. Yeah, like this is the thing. I think they want exactly 3 ships in most systems: a carrier, a cruiser. A carrier, a destroyer, and like a War Sun or Dreadnought in the big one, or they can just have like cruisers and destroyers accompanying their carriers and hybrid crystals.
But don't deal action. Oh, you could.
Oh, are we up to scoring?
I don't know. Maybe just leave it there.
Nah, don't do stuff.
Yeah,
Do stuff. What stuff are they doing?
Oh no, there's some non-passing.
Point towards the button that we have to push when we start again.
Hold on, I just got to.
Oh, so that they're calling the game with a little bit of the round left.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Because I think Jared also had to leave.
Right, fair enough, and there's more stuff to do.
Yeah. I mean, he
Don't talk to them about the host, because I think you were here when they set it up.
Pretty good tonight.
Mhm.
All right, should we write some notes here?
Yeah, let's please just get a note saying whose turn it is, who's about to happen.
It's scoring. Scores.
Oh, you're up to scoring. You did all pass. Sorry, I wasn't sure.
Aren't you
deal.
watching the game, mate?
Yeah, we were having a discussion about the game's state, not necessarily about exactly who had passed or not. I was just confused because there's only one token that's passed, but I think it's because the rest of them flipped, and Moons didn't because he wasn't in the seat.
Correct.
All right, does this note make enough sense? Scores done. Need to deal action. Need to pick cards. Is that a good enough note?
Scores done. Can you make it like way bigger because it's way over this side?
Okay. All right. Cool. I've saved. If everyone actually, you know what? Everyone should.
They couldn't hear me. Can you maybe make that note just like a little bit bigger because it's off to the side like that? Just so.
I'll screenshot it.
Okay. Yep. That'll do.
Does everyone want to group their cards?
Well, 4B, it was a very spicy couple of rounds.
The one that matters, right?
I think your map design and faction pool has provided.
Well, it went people into making some. Oh, hang on, they told us.
Flip his cards and group them.
Yeah, I will do that. No, you know what, 4B, you're not actually playing in the event. Why don't you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. 4Banner, could you sit in his seat?
Yep.
Also, whoever has the stream up,
Oh, it's me. That's why it's echoing. When I talk to you guys, it echoes.
Purple, could
But yes, that's another good reason we don't want it to be seen on stream. Good call.
And 4Banner, can you group Blue's cards because he's already left?
Well, on that note, I think we'll call the stream there. I'm just going to say this with the players live as well. Thanks a lot, guys, for a very exciting round 1 and 2. There was a lot of action, and I think 4B might be pretty happy with his map and faction build, the way it's panned out. We will be back. I think you guys aren't playing for another couple of weeks, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not till the 15th or something.
Okay, so this game won't be back on stream for a couple of weeks, but I believe there is another game kicking off on Friday, which Moon, the Warlord, will be commentating on. Maybe with 4Burner as well. I'm not sure if you're available then, 4B.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe we'll get one of the Hellfish in to commentate with Mooney. How many views did we get? We had a lot of other participants in the tournament who turned up, but yeah, we had 4 or 5 other people rock up and talk in chat. But there was about 15 to 20 people lurking around the whole time.
Hey, that's pretty hype.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's more for the video on demand later anyway.
That's quite right. Well, thanks a lot for a brilliant round 1 and 2. This is Muffin Manifesto signing off for 4Burner, Martimus Rex, Bay, Cheesius, Murderous Troll, Moon in absentia, and Jared of Arabica. Have a lovely night, and I hope you tune back in Friday for the next round of the Hell Mode Invitational.
Hell Mode Invitational, boy!
Bye!